get that notification, we about to go live. Hit this track and do your dance like you Karen Lacey. Run it back and turn Matthew to the house, baby. It's Tingle and Co. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. It's Tingle and Co. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. It's Tingle and Co. What up, Lloyd? What up, Lloyd? You can call me him. I'm Shake Dixon in the whip with them RPMs. Gotta pull up to the chat and shit out to them. They're trying to ball like Big Folk, then get out the gym.
All right, good morning and welcome in here on this Wednesday morning as we've made it halfway through the week here. Starting to roll through April. I mean, it's April 8th already, through the first week of the month. March Madness is all wrapped up, and we're closing out on some spring football and obviously in the mix of some LSU baseball. We made our way into allergy season in the thick of it, 100%. We appreciate all of you starting your mornings with us here on Tingle & Co., brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. FanDuel brings you our show every single day, and we're live from our Southern Regional Medical Center studios. The squad here at SRMC housing our show takes great care of us, and we appreciate them. But via our friends over at FanDuel, our show is live every single day. Like we told you yesterday, LSU basketball transfer portal, or men's basketball transfer portal, has opened, and with that, LSU basketball is plus 6,500 odds for a national championship next year, which is pretty surprising. And then also football plus 1,600 over with our friends at FanDuel. We appreciate them bringing you our show. Also, it is a great time of the year as the Masters are right in front of us. You are looking him dead in the eyes. And the favorite, Lloyd, can you think you can guess?
That would be one Scotty Scheffler, sir.
It would be plus 550 for old Scotty. Bryson and Rahm tied for second with second best odds. Plus 1,000. Two live golfers.
LIV, IN, live in. Now they're both want to leave.
Yep.
LEAVIN.
And then Rory at plus 1,300 right there behind them.
Cocksucker.
So those are the top three odds. Scotty, Bryson, and Rahm tied in second, and Rory with the Masters. Via our friends over at FanDuel. FanDuel brings you our show every day. Download the app. Go to the FanDuel website. Check them out. And let us know who you think.
Rory has a special out on Prime. If you like him, it'll make you not like him. If you don't like him, it'll make you hate him.
So now you hate him.
Yeah.
Because I knew you didn't like him prior.
Such a pretentious person. He pretends like he's not.
It's
so poor. Just, me dad growing the taters.
See, his accent is not that strong anymore.
I know, because he doesn't want to embrace the Irish in him. His dad's Irish.
Someone asked him like why he didn't go more Irish with the menu, and he was like, "Well, I actually wanted to enjoy the food." I was like,
"See,
oh gosh, like that's kind of rude."
Yeah,
like why didn't you go more Louisiana with your menu? Oh, I hate jambalaya.
Yeah.
Crawfish sauce. Like okay.
I don't know what an Irish menu entails. Like bangers and mash.
I guess. I know that's Scottish.
That's just
all right.
That's a lamb's bladder.
It's just one pint of Guinness. That's it.
Guinness is not very good either, but you could really mess up the field if you just went full Irish. Like get on it. But also, you shouldn't have to worry about it because they will cook anything you want at the Masters dinner. Like they have the full array of chefs.
They'll make whatever
you want. Yes. So if you want a skillet cookie, or if you want to go Bubba Watson grilled chicken with mashed potatoes and mac and cheese.
You sure
can do that too.
Can literally do it. Like that's the coolest part about it.
Skillet cookie.
I do whatever I want.
Yeah. Anybody there, they're all champions.
Yeah.
They're not going to tell Jack Nicklaus no.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
I had 6 of these.
But last night, we, as a crew, made it over to Alec Box Stadium to watch some LSU baseball, and obviously want to talk about that before we get to Jacques Doucet in right around 20 minutes. He'll join us at 8:30 to talk about everything around LSU. Because like we said, just had, obviously, what's going on in the offseason with men's and women's basketball, baseball in the mix of it, spring football, all of it. JD will join to talk about it. But last night, the Tigers lose 10-7 to Bethune-Cookman in Alec Box Stadium. Like I said, we were there. The Tigers really lost it in that seventh inning. And funny enough, until that seventh inning, it was a tightly contested game. Like, I mean, LSU going into the seventh was ahead 6-5 after giving up 3 in the second inning, which I believe is like a tradition at this point in the midweek, is they give up runs in the second inning because it's become, I feel like memory-wise, just routine up to this point.
Well, certainly with Marco Paz on the mound. He goes through the first and 5 pitches?
3 up, 3 down, 5 pitches, and then
second inning gets shelled.
And so he goes for an inning, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, no strikeouts, through 15 pitches before he got pulled. But what I was going to say was I was never, like, concerned. Like, I was never stressing. Even though the score was 6-5 going into the seventh, like, I was kind of sitting back, feet up, hanging out, having some hot dogs, chilling, not really stressing whatsoever. Just kind of felt comfortable, you know? Now, I'm talking about myself. You know, obviously I'm not on the diamond, so I can be comfortable with a 6-5 lead. But ultimately, the top of the seventh, they give up 5. They just walk. They just started walking batters, and they weren't able to get out of the inning. And then in the bottom of the seventh, like the seventh inning, and Jay talked about it in one of the clips we'll play for you guys via our guy John Eads. And it's not like some big brain thing to think about. The seventh inning was the hugest sway in this whole thing. You give up 5 runs. You load the bases with no outs, right? You get the bases loaded, no outs, if I remember correctly, and then struck out 3 times in a row.
1, 2, 3 in the order as well.
Like, you really couldn't have scripted it better for the way it worked out in the seventh inning, in the bottom of the seventh inning, offensively, to respond to going down 10-6 in that game. The bottom of the order comes up, walk. It was 3 straight walks?
Hit by pitch, Yaman hit a single, and then Harden got hit by pitch.
Yeah, and so hit by pitch, single, hit by pitch. They pull that pitcher out, and then 3 straight strikeouts, the top of your order, and
there
it goes. And they're just, you really didn't have anything. Now, you defensively put up some zeros in the innings after that, but you score 1 run in the ninth, nothing after you lose 10-7. This is Jay kind of talking about the same thing, that seventh inning where the game just was lost. Like, ultimately, there's no other way to say it. You lost the game in that seventh inning, and this is LSU's head coach, Jay Johnson, talking about that.
Yeah, it's tough. Making it really simple, like we lost the strike zone on both sides of the ball in the seventh inning. I mean, we used 4 or 5 guys and just couldn't get off the field. And then on offense, we responded pretty well, loaded the bases, and just lost the strike zone with some good hitters. So makes it hard to win. And when you do that against a good team, motivated team, rested team, and they took advantage of us losing the strike zone there, and that was really the difference in the game. I thought we showed up ready to play. I don't have any problem with that part or the compete in terms of it. Certainly some of the execution stuff from the mound, and then again, like, I don't know how many hits we had, but we're in position to maybe do a little more than we did in each inning. And credit Bethune for getting off the field a couple more times.
There is Jay Johnson talking about that seventh inning. To run it through here, if you didn't see it last night, this is kind of how it went. Santiago Garcia is in the game at pitcher. Gets a pop out, right? One out, then gives up a triple. After that, gives up a single, and that scores a run. So now it's 6-6 tie ball game. Jay brings in Lockenmeyer, to pitch for Garcia. Lockenmeyer hits the batter when he steps in. So he gets pulled right after that. So now there are 2 on, 1 out. They've already scored a run, and the pitcher you brought in, you're having to pull after 1 batter. They bring in Rizzi. He hits the first batter he faces. And so now the bases are loaded. He gets a pop out or a fly out to Jake Brown. Jake Brown does an excellent job getting the ball in to Aaron Beatty at the dish, so the runner does not tag up and score. So you keep them at bay. They've only scored 1 run. There are now 2 outs. And to follow that up, Rizzi walks a batter after a full count, battled back, walks a batter, and then walks another one. So walks 2 straight batters in full count at-bats and scores 2 runs for them. And then you bring in Dottie to pitch for Rizzi, and a hard-hit ball at Seth Dardar rolls up the arm, gets to the outfield, and scores some runs. Here it is right here. Goes right up the arm, into the outfield, scores more for them, and gets the lead to stretch. They bring in Reagan Ricken, and shout out to him. Did a great job when he came in, getting out of that inning, and then obviously closing out the game after that, putting some zeros up on the board. But that's kind of how it went. But like Wyatt said, they get to the bottom. Braun hit by pitch, Yaman singles, Harden hit by pitch, and then it's Milam strikes out, Brown strikes out, Pearson strikes out. And it's just that's tough. You couldn't ask for anything better. And when that happened, it just kind of took all the wind from beneath your sails. I mean, you got the bases loaded, no outs with the top of your lineup coming up, and you can't even put a ball in play. You can't draw a walk. It's just 3 straight strikeouts. And it's unfortunate. Look, I'm not freaking out. The season's not over. Obviously, it's crazy, the ups and downs of this thing. The show we had yesterday and Monday are on this high because of a weekend series victory over Tennessee. And then you turn the page to today after midweek where you lose 10-7. You have a couple of guys get banged up. We'll play the clip of Jay Johnson talking about that as well. And the upsetting part is usually you would look at a midweek at a random point like this and go, you know what, it'll be all right. It's a midweek, brush it off. But you're not really in the position anymore to be able to brush these off, right? Like you're 6-6 in the conference, and that's excellent. You've been playing good baseball, but your pitching lets you down tonight, and you lose another midweek. And just RPI wise, I'm not going to pretend like I'm this big brain, postseason RPI rating type of guy, but I do know. I mean, LSU's lost how many? Like quad 4 games? 5 of them.
5 of them.
I mean, they've lost to Northeastern, McNeese, Sacramento State twice, now Bethune-Cookman. I mean, those aren't pretty.
Your RPI is good as what's going to tank you, because now there's a lot of conjecture about if LSU is even in a position to host a regional,
right? Because
the way that the RPI works, and you played a ton of baseball. But with a ton of baseball comes losses to teams that have a bad RPI. So you've lost to Bethune-Cookman, who's actually good. I think we didn't obviously – you're coming off a series against Tennessee at Tennessee where even as – look, we're not on the team, so it's not like on us to get prepared for Bethune-Cookman the same way. But it did feel like the way that LSU was playing, let's go check out a ball game on a Tuesday, go watch them play. Not be there for 4 hours and 15 minutes in a loss.
Yeah.
And so – that just kind of how the midweek has gone this year for some reason. Jay's usually been pretty good at, he says, at taking care of Tuesday.
Yeah.
But this is his first year where he stumbled in the midweek a good bit. But you have losses to Sacramento State, Northeastern, Nichols, and Bethune-Cookman. And all of those things are games that you consider LSU to be like, these are wins.
It should be.
And then the real losses will come in. Hopefully you go take 2 of 3 in a home series. You'll lose a couple of series on the road.
Right.
It always kind of balances itself out when you try to get to what's the number 15 wins in the league.
Yep.
Now you're looking at you need to get more than that because
to make up for this.
Yeah, and you're going on the road against a top 10 RPI team in Ole Miss, so you have a chance to shake this thing back.
Right.
And hopefully, and this happens every year, where you start talking about regional hosts, and you go, well, maybe you get the LSU bump because they want people at those games. They want the box kind of featured on television, and it never really disappoints the people that make decisions in terms of viewership. So you're still in the fight, but this is much harder than I think people, and it's not the reason why people thought it would be hard.
Right. Yeah, not at all. And, I mean, just to run through some numbers, the thing that let you down last night is pitching. I mean, as of right now, LSU's in a position where they're down a starting pitcher. So on the weekend anyways, you know you're going to need your bullpen to step up. And now, luckily, last night, you obviously didn't pitch Sheeran, Guidry, Cow. I mean, those are the guys you know you're going to rely on, Fontenot, in the weekend. But you would like to see somebody extend and get some innings so that you're not having to throw a bunch of pitches. And credit to Garcia, Theophilus, and Ricken, who really carried the weight of the game. But, I mean, ultimately, Paz gives up 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. Doesn't walk a batter. But, I mean, Rizzi comes in, walks 2, also hits 1. Lockenmeyer faced 1 batter, hit him. Santiago Garcia hit a batter. You have to stop giving. I mean, you had 4 batters hit by pitches, and then you also gave up the 2 walks via Rizzi. I mean, that's 6 free passes.
Which is actually, considering where LSU has been, not the worst in the world.
It's just the moments and when they happen.
Yeah. They get a ton of, they get
stack up.
They get, not only that, they do it at the most inopportune times.
Right.
They get 2 strikes, 1-2, 2-2.
Yes.
3-2 even.
And then they hit him in the shoulder.
Yeah, it always feels like you're in a plus count where it's 0-2, 1-2, and they hit somebody. And now, look, I'm not a pitcher, but it seems to be happening to the same people quite a bit. And that's the concerning part, is these are guys that, look, you gave some of them a little bit of a pass, and look, they played in such high competitive, high leverage situations last year. It's going to be hard to kind of find that same feeling again until it starts to matter again. Now, this shit matters now.
Yeah, and it has to.
And you're in high leverage situations again, and now you're shitting down your leg.
Yeah.
But that's where this is kind of the carryover effect. While you saw LSU be able to win on the weekend and take a series from Tennessee without Cooper Moore, this is kind of what you get, because how many times did you see Grant Fontenot throw on a Tuesday? Or you saw Gavin Guidry come in and start on a Tuesday.
I mean, you threw Sheeran during the midweek sometimes.
And that was a situation in which you would have used Sheeran had you not just used him.
Right.
Because that, you saw it last week, where it's like, oh, these are games that you have to win. I'm using my best bullets. And so you've seen him do that, where it's like, oh, well, I wonder what that's going to do for the series. It doesn't matter. This is basically a series game at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so you had none of your bullets left, and you tried Santi Garcia, you tried Lockenmeyer, Theophilus, the
biggest one is,
and then Rizzi would be the best of and Cooper Williams.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the one is, and I don't want to seem like we're piling on him.
No, I mean, he hasn't been good this year.
When I heard Rizzi, shipping up to Boston by the Dropkick Murphys come on, that's Rizzi's walkout song. So I knew he was coming into pitch, and that's when I was like, okay, this is serious. You're not bringing out Rizzi just to get him some work in the midweek, because, you pitch him during the weekend. He pitched last Friday, right? Before Sheeran came in. You're bringing him in because you're trying to shut that thing down, and the command just isn't there. He comes in after Lockenmeyer, just hits a batter, and hits the first guy he faces, loads the bases. Battles back in some counts, gets both of the walks that score runs to full counts. And then leaves the bases loaded for Dothy, who does a good job, gets a pitch that's hit as a ground ball. Now it's hit hard.
Got to make that play. But 2 outs.
Dardar's got to just block it up, keep it in front of you, and get it to first base. But instead, it rolls up the arm, gets to the outfield, and it scores more runs. Credit to Reagan Ricken, like I said, getting in the game and putting up zeros. He gave up 2 hits. He hit a batter. But he had 2 strikeouts, and there were no runs scored.
Oh, he kept you in the fight, and it was funny because you talked about you weren't really worried about looking at the scoreboard, LSU with a 1-run lead going into the 7th, 8th, 9th. You expected LSU to put up the 5 spot, 6 spot.
Right, because that's who they've been.
Right, and so that's how you kind of get conditioned to watch it. It's like, oh, it's 6-5. At some point, the crooked number for LSU was coming. It didn't happen, and like you said, credit to Bethune-Cookman. They're a good team. They're going to make the tournament. They're going to be a spoiler in somebody's regional.
Yeah, they're going to piss somebody off. Mm-hmm. The same way they pissed us off last night, like it. Yeah. They are a good team. I mean, they put the ball in play. I mean, they crushed one to the left field landing at one point in the game.
They pull-sided everything. They hit the ball hard.
They drew walks. I mean, they put together good ABs. And obviously, they pitched it well. I mean, the bottom of the 7th, they had a guy that loads the bases. They pull him, bring in another pitcher. Boom. Strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. Gets them out of the 7th, and that just kind of was it, And I don't think this is a bad team, LSU baseball. They're extremely inconsistent, And
now you're hurt.
And now you're getting hurt. And we'll play the clip of Jay talking about Stanley and Dardar, because that is maybe even bigger loss last night, is that you left with 2 guys that have been huge to LSU riding the ship, right? To how the momentum has shifted positively is getting Stanfield back and him in a rhythm. And then the way Dardar has swung the bat. Those have been very, very key pieces of where you've been able to find some success, and they both get shaken up last night. This is Jay talking about the injuries or potential injuries on both Stanfield and Dardar.
Well, I don't know. I credit Seth. It looked like he broke his leg or something sliding in there and showed some toughness. I thought Chris did as well to stay in the game. We needed base runners, and I just asked Chris if he was 100% right now in this second, and he said no. And so we made a decision to pinch hit Daniel. He certainly toughed it out a lot. And it was more just for tonight. We'll get him evaluated, and certainly need both of those guys in the lineup to be the best that we can be.
So hopefully all good there for Dardar and Stanfield, because you don't want this loss to be an even bigger loss by losing those 2 guys in the middle of an SEC season. Because, like I said, they've been vital to who you've been. So we'll take a quick break solely to set up Jacques Doucet, who's going to join us right when we come back to talk all things LSU sports, especially some LSU football, as he was at the press conference yesterday and as well as practice on the Ponderosa. So we'll talk to him right after this.
Wardos was created in honor of Alan Ward Granning III, fondly known by family and friends as Wardo. In 2019, the oldest brother of the tribe passed away unexpectedly. His remaining siblings and loved ones wanted to honor his memory in a special way. In 2022, Ward's family decided to combine the need for a sandwich shop in downtown Natchez with a desire to pay tribute to Ward's love of good friends, good times, and great food. Through blood, sweat, tears, and countless hours of hard work, Wardo's was born. So go visit Wardo's today at 309 North Broadway Street in Natchez, where the po' boys are so good, you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
Hey, Miss Lou, come visit us, Tom and Wright Granning at Go Martin on the Go Deli.
Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need.
Located at the corner of Highland Boulevard and Highway 61 South in Natchez.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff,
where everyone is family.
When it comes to your home, the roof over your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's repair, a replacement, or storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing, built on trust, backed by quality.
All right, welcome back here as we roll through hour number one here on this Wednesday morning. Talked a little bit about the loss last night to Bethune-Cookman to open up the show this morning, and now we will talk all things LSU sports with the best in the business, Jacques Doucet over at WFB. JD, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Another beautiful day in South Louisiana, April. Probably the best month of the year. Flip a coin. April, October. Best weather, best time of the year.
Lloyd, what's your pick?
October, because that's when you start getting those 7 o'clock LSU football games, and it's okay to drink bourbon. They don't judge you in October.
Yeah. Well, don't tell anybody, but I have bourbon in my coffee right now.
Yeah, you're the sports director. You get to do that.
Yeah, not really. Way before your time, there was a show in the 80s called Dallas, J.R. Ewing and Texas and everything. And they said, "Sir, what do you like in your coffee?" Bourbon. So that's
and that's Dallas.
Yeah, I'm actually going to the gym in a little while. No bourbon in my coffee, but certainly plenty of entertainment in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Never boring here on the local sports scene.
That's for sure. And I'll start with LSU football. Obviously, there was a bit of a scare via social media the other day as Sam Leavitt posted a picture returning from getting the pins removed, but didn't really contain any context. It was just a picture of his foot with like an ace bandage wrapped up on it and obviously looking injured. And it freaked out a couple of people. And then obviously Lane gets asked about it yesterday. What were your thoughts on the current standing of the LSU quarterback situation and Lane Kiffin's answers then yesterday?
Well, Coach Kiffin said this was no surprise that Sam Leavitt, is on the timetable they expected. My impressions before spring started was that he was going to be out there throwing, that he wasn't going to be able to do any team stuff, that he wasn't going to be running around a whole lot. And so I guess I was a little surprised that there were pictures that, hey, I'm getting these pins out, and then he's out for the rest of the spring. Maybe I didn't understand the process as much, but certainly I think that is the biggest storyline with this team moving forward is how healthy will the quarterback be when Clemson comes to town to start the year on September the 5th. Obviously, to make this kind of investment into Sam Leavitt, and to make him your guy, they would have to have done their due diligence and research and felt good about the timeline of his recovery. I do think that the quarterback room overall is in a much better spot than it was a year ago when you got a 5-star coming in from USC, and you got the quarterback from Elon, who's got a lot of talent, and you got Lane Kiffin as the head coach, who's been able to pick diamonds out of the rough and take guys that nobody knew who they were and turn them into stars. So I think you feel good about all that. But at the same time, I guess there's questions about, how effective and how healthy will he be. I think that, we don't need to start panicking or anything right now. But if the coach says this is the timeline and there's no surprises and this is the way it's supposed to be, then I'm gonna take Coach Lane Kiffin at his word there and move forward with it.
How much do you think maybe the concern from the fan base or the anxiety with it on the Sam Leavitt situation stems from kind of what they've lived through, and we've all lived through last year, with the Nussmeier situation, his injury or not injury, or actually what's going on, and the obvious drop off in the play? How much do you think that plays a factor in maybe some of the anxiety and worry with this situation?
Well, and then we're also in a time now where we share everything in real time. Maybe young people are felt pressed to share things about themselves. And I mean, if he doesn't share that yesterday or whenever it was 2 days ago, does it become the story that it became? Now, obviously, we're going to go out there. We're going to see that number 10 isn't out there. We're going to ask where he is, and then they're going to have to answer. So I guess we get at the same destination. But I think, I think a year ago, we've never seen, I don't know if never's the right, but I can't remember the regression of a quarterback as much as Nussmeier's 2024 to his 2025 in terms of productivity, what we expected, what was supposed to be the next step. The offensive weapons they got in the offseason, like Barry and Brown, the fact that Chris Hilton was coming back and healthy. These were guys that were supposed to stretch the defense. LSU was supposed to be able to throw the ball down the field, and none of that really happened. And then your running game was anemic once again, which was pointed out at the press conference yesterday. You averaged 104 yards per game on the ground last year. And so, and then, after the fact, there were, I saw a few people, getting online demanding answers from the media, and we covered for Garrett Nussmeier's injury and all that. I don't think any of us did that. I think we asked questions more than once about his health and what was going on. And, Brian Kelly, the head coach at the time, he made his decision that a weakened and hobbled Garrett Nussmeier was a better option than a healthy Michael Van Buren. And seeing the whole body of work, it's hard to argue that that was a bad decision, honestly. And so, we've seen these kind of things before, going all the way back 20 years to when the Saints got Drew Brees, and he was coming off that major shoulder injury. And will he be ready to go for the season opener? And finally he was, and the rest is history. But yeah, I think if you're an LSU fan and you see this amount of money being thrown around, and obviously quarterback is the most important piece of your team, you want Sam Leavitt to be healthy, ready to go, and so we'll see how that goes going into the summer here.
You talked a little bit about having, I guess, wanting to be in the now and seeing things in the present. Do you think that there's ever going to be, because of how, I guess, high stakes college football has become and these NIL contracts and all of these things, that LSU or any insert college is going to have to be like, hey, let's be more careful about what we put on our Instagram now? Because now you're talking about college kids. Like, you would never see that probably from a professional athlete of being, I'm going to post this the day of. And then that led to more questions than answers whenever we already knew the answer, that he wasn't going to perform the rest of the spring. Like, that was known coming in. And then it becomes, oh, wait, what happened because of the panic button? All because of an Instagram post.
Yeah, I think that was, something obviously that he decided to share.
I don't think he thought anything of it.
Yeah, I think maybe it's like, I don't know. I went to the dentist today. I got a cavity, or whatever the case may be. I mean, they're younger people. They don't obviously don't see the world through the same lens as older people. And, what it's like to be that age. You just live, looking really ahead. You're not looking at the calendar. You're not looking at what the weather is. You just step outside. Oh, it's nice today. Okay, you move forward. I mean, now it's like, is it going to rain tomorrow? Or what's going on next week? And this and that. And yeah, I think that there are some, there's a lot of great pluses to social media. There's a lot of negatives to them. I just think that. And somebody like me can be a victim of it. You try to do too much all at once. You're running around, and sometimes you make an honest mistake, and the people on there would, even your media brethren, especially, will crucify you and maximize it to the utmost that they can. And I always try to be, treat people with grace and whatnot on there. And these young people, if they fumble, I was having this discussion with Bob Starkey the other day about basketball. They make a mistake. Here it is in real time. We're going to replay it over and over again. Here's a layup you missed. Here's 100 comments telling you that you're awful. From certain people who have never stepped in any kind of athletic field whatsoever, or done anything in their lives to that extent. And so. I'm going off on a different thing here, but I think that those are one of the negatives of social media. I talk to, people that are getting into the sportscasting business and getting into athletics. You don't want people to be scared to do things because they're being intimidated by people who don't do things. And so, but yeah, I think that there is a pressure on student athletes to build a brand, to be relevant in the social media space. And then, I don't know, sometimes when you're not sending anything out or sharing anything, I'm absent from the space. I'm not doing what I should be doing. And so, yeah, maybe he just thought, hey, look, everyone knows this. They all know I got a foot pain. I got my pins out today.
Yeah.
And then that set off alarms.
But maybe, a little bit on the positive with spring football going on. The offense as a whole, even though, obviously there's the Leavitt deal going on, he was never really in the mix for 11-on-11 stuff anyways, just kind of getting some throws in, and did a good job in the 2 weeks he was out there. What have you seen from the offense as a whole? Obviously a lot of change there from a staff and a roster perspective with Lane Kiffin coming in. What have you seen on the Ponderosa when it comes to the LSU offense?
Well, you see they got 10 new wide receivers out of the portal, and a large amount of those guys averaged 15 yards per catch or more at their previous schools. So there's some tall, rangy guys out there. I think Kellen Moore, the Saints head coach, had a sound bite this week where he talked about the wide receiving core, and I liked what he said. He said you want it to look like a basketball team. Not everyone's going to look the same in your starting five. You got some shorter guys, you got some taller guys. You kind of mix it up in that fashion, and I think that they'll have that there. I mean, certainly when we go out to practice, where we've been positioned, we're always close to the running backs, and so we're seeing what's going on there. Harlem Berry last week was one of the guys they brought for interviews, and he said it about the need to get in better condition to run this offense that's up tempo. I guess it's difficult for him to an extent. You're trying to put on muscle and put on weight to get bigger, yet you need to be in better cardio condition to be moving up and down the field, in and out of the huddle. And they're fighting for carries. There's a lot of running backs in that room. You've got the veteran guys in Barry and Caden Durham, and you've got some new guys out of the portal. I think the one position group that we're looking to get a better look at, and I think LSU will help us with that next week, I think maybe next Thursday, is the offensive line. Just the way that it's been set up and whatnot, the offensive line has been far away. We haven't been able to see them work much. So I think next week we'll get a better look and see right there, because that's where it all starts. And you heard Kiffin yesterday talking about the fact that one of the big priorities on the team is to run the ball better. And he said not only our offense, when you can't run the ball, it hurts your entire team. It causes big problems in terms of being able to possess the ball offensively, having to punt the ball away, gassing your defense because they're on the field too much. And so I think that in 2023, when LSU lost that 55-49 game at Ole Miss and Oxford, typically you think about a team when they bring the ball down the field late, they're throwing. If I remember correctly, Ole Miss was running the ball, in that 2 minute. And that's maybe something you don't think about. You think in a 2 minute, we throw, but the way they run the ball and then get out of bounds and stop the clock and whatnot. So, I think we're all excited to see what it's going to be next year. I think we all went through a root canal last year with that offense, and we've seen way too many struggles in the red zone in terms of popping off big runs or big pass plays, getting inside the 10, and then kicking a Ramos field goal. Certainly they need to score more touchdowns this year. But those are some of the things I'm seeing from the offense. Certainly, Trades Green is back and will be a big time weapon in this offense, and so a lot to look forward to, I think.
100%. And I'll ask you a question, maybe kind of on a bigger scale, LSU athletics as a whole. There's obviously been a lot of conversation, everything that's transpired over the last couple of months, from a Brian Kelly buyout to a Kiffin contract. We've talked about the money many times. You've been on here. Last week, Jay Johnson had a press conference, and when he answered a question about the MLB, it wasn't the most shut down of an answer. It was, that's not my interest right now. And so it was, but I also think it's very obvious that there is maybe a bit of a competition, maybe isn't the right word, but trying to get the funding to be as even as it possibly can be now that men's basketball is going to get more resources. You obviously have Kim Mulkey in women's basketball, football, who's king. Well, and then there's baseball, who's won 2 national championships over the last 3 years. What are your thoughts on maybe that conversation and where the money and the rev share currently lies with LSU athletics?
Well, if you've gotten on X, you've seen certain people now in a tug of war, and it's become a little divisive in terms of LSU. And instead of, we're all in this together, and we all hope all of our teams do well. You're getting more of this program doesn't deserve that much money. This program deserves more money. It's kind of like sportscasting. I would think that there are some people out there that if all I ran every sportscast was LSU football, they'd be fine with that. But that's not the way you're supposed to do your job. And there's a lot of people out there that want coverage, and you do your best to cover them. And I think it's similar that if LSU football, are y'all getting this too? Hang on.
What is this? This is Life Alert?
It's an Amber Alert. Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah.
Amber Alert on my phone. They're looking for you, Lloyd. Come back.
Finally.
But yeah, I mean, I think there's some people that if LSU football was successful and nothing else was, they'd be fine with that. There are some people who dig their heels in for LSU baseball and don't care anything about women's basketball. There are some people that have been, why did you let LSU men's basketball die on the vine, put money into that? So I think that I think it's very interesting times in terms of money. Where is the money all coming from? I think a lot of people have asked that question. I don't think they've gotten a pertinent answer or a concrete answer. Who's paying for all this? Although it doesn't matter to me, or maybe you guys. I mean, maybe you buy tickets like you always have, but in the grand scheme of things, you're not paying for it. So, who's paying for it? But yeah, I think that, when you've got a head coach that's won 2 national championships in 3 years and is perceived to be the best college baseball coach in the country, it would be a crying shame if he was not funded or not given what he was needed to continue, moving forward. He's proven himself. He's proven, this is not, investing in somebody and hoping he will succeed. He's already proven he can succeed. So, you hear different things about where LSU is in terms of NIL funds for baseball and whatnot. And so I think that when you've been successful, there can be a perception of, he has what he needs. We don't need to give him any more. Squeaky wheel gets the grease, that kind of thing. So, I've heard different things about, what Coach Johnson maybe needs before June the 1st and whatnot. And so, but it certainly looks like, if I'm not mistaken, through the coaches committee or something online, a lot of people have started donating money to LSU baseball, a lemonade stand or Girl Scout cookies on steroids, right? I mean, just everyone's buying in. So, hopefully they get what they need. Certainly last night they had a very disappointing loss to a SWAC team in Bethune-Cookman. I know I haven't really watched LSU baseball to the extent that I need to. I will be now that women's basketball is over and I'm done traveling and all that. But there's certainly been a lot of talk about who they got in the offseason and did they evaluate some people or not. Let's see what happens when the season's all said and done. It's still way too early to make any sweeping judgments. They have won back-to-back SEC series, so they are heading in the right direction there. Big series this weekend at Ole Miss, and John Eads will be there to cover the series. He'll be traveling to Oxford.
Well, that's very exciting. I have a feeling the emotions are likely going to be high in Oxford, Mississippi this weekend. Even though it's not a football game, I still think, the bad blood rings through.
Well, I joked with him. I said, John, set up your tripod and your camera right outside the front gate of the stadium and just ask people as they come in, what do you think of Lane Kiffin, Mike?
Just hold a sign up with the name Lane Kiffin on it, and you'll get plenty of reaction.
I saw the Frank Wilson post, too, today about don't jump sides, don't switch sides. And, he was to defend Coach Wilson, he did not want to leave LSU. I think he wanted to stay, but he did literally change sides. So that was ironic. But you gotta LSU's not paying him anymore. Ole Miss is. So you gotta get behind. You got to get behind who's paying you. But it's always amusing. I remember. You remember when Kevin Steele was named the LSU defensive coordinator? It was a package deal with Coach O. They brought him in, and I think it was 2016, if I'm not mistaken. And Kevin Steele gets up there, and somebody asked him about, what you did at Auburn or what you did at Alabama, and he's like, "Well, we don't talk about that place anymore. We don't talk about that." And the very next year, I think he was working for either Auburn or Alabama after LSU let him go. So it's like, you gotta dance with the one who brought him. But loyalty and commitment these days in collegiate athletics is slippery slope.
That's for sure. And this is the last one I'll ask you, and it's, I guess, kind of on that point with the transfer portal. Kim Mulkey spoke to you and talked about her roster, and her answer was, even after Devine had entered the portal, that she had her exit meetings and expected everyone to stay. And then the announcement comes out yesterday that Bella Hines had entered her name into the transfer portal, which obviously I would assume seemed like a bit of a surprise because of what we had heard from Kim Mulkey. What are your thoughts on the current standing and the offseason for LSU women's basketball that's ahead?
Well, I think towards the end of the regular season and into the tournament, you were hearing some things about Bella entering the portal. And then, like you said, I did the sit down with Kim Mulkey. It would be a week ago tomorrow. It would be last Thursday we did that interview. And, I think although Coach Mulkey is passionate and speaks on a lot of different things, I think oftentimes she's pretty measured with what she says in terms of, making comments about everyone coming back. She must have believed from what she gathered that Bella was going to come back. I think I like Bella a lot. I got a chance to meet her family in Sacramento. Very nice people. Enjoyed interviewing them and enjoyed what her dad said about being coached hard. And this generation needs a kick in the butt every now and then. But maybe I think he also said yesterday in some sort of space that it was kind of obvious that the playing time wasn't going to be there for her as much, that she would continue to maybe be a role player. I know that they've talked about bumping Zakiya Johnson back out to the wing, and she won't be playing in the post anymore. You got Malaysia Full-Wiley obviously back, Michaela Williams, and some others there that may, make it difficult for her to play as much. But, she was only a freshman this year. If she would have, stuck to it and hung around, I would think that by the time she was a senior, she'd be a prominent player. But I don't know if there's money out there for her to get at another school, more playing time, those kind of things. I think the family did tell me that it took 2 years for Kim Mulkey to give her an offer for a scholarship. So it wasn't like she was, Michaela Williams or Caroline Bradley or some, huge name that LSU offered immediately. So sad to see her go. That's a tough thing. But and then also, the Kaylin Gilbert, transfer or hit in the portal as well. Some people have been asking, and what's going on with her. I mean, obviously she's. It's the same thing. She had a family issue that was going on off the floor. I think she only appeared in the first 5 games. She was away from the team the entire season. And I think with the emergence of Malaysia Full-Wiley and some of the guards and, scholarships have to be committed to other people coming in. And I just think that LSU had to move forward and, hopefully Kaylin finds a new home. Hopefully her family dynamics get ironed out and she's able to focus on basketball. And she was listed as a senior this year, so I guess she may get one more year somehow. I remember Amani Bartlett. I thought her career was done last year, and then she pops up at Houston with another year left. So there's obviously some interesting things going on in collegiate athletics with eligibility and getting in another year and so forth. So that's what happens.
Well, JD, we appreciate you making some time for us and all the insight, of course. We'll catch up with you next Wednesday.
All right, sounds good. We sat down with Joe Burrow's parents yesterday. They were in town. Yeah, so check that out. That's up on our YouTube and WAFB.com channel. And, yeah, lots going on coming up this weekend. So appreciate you having me on, and I'll talk to you next Wednesday.
As always, we appreciate you.
All right, see you later.
Yep.
Thank you, Nate.
There he is, Jacques Doucet, the best in the business. I mean, truly. He is. We appreciate it. Make some car time for these young fellas every single Wednesday. One of our favorite segments that we've been doing since we got this thing rolling. He's the best. And like you said, interesting time in collegiate athletics, and that's for sure. I mean, they covered a lot of bases just in that phone call, whether it's the transfer portal, players leaving, or it's the battle for rev share and resources being invested. It is a lot going on. And really, like I feel like LSU is the epicenter of it. Like if you were to look at the test case for the new era of college athletics, you would look at LSU. Because they're just spending everything, like money-wise. I mean, they're firing regardless of buyouts. They're investing, the contracts and then the roster. And you've just kind of seen, especially this year, LSU's just kind of at the center of all of this, where they're spending a lot of money.
Well, not only that, and this is the product of the fan base, right?
Of course.
The vocal, it's not even the vocal minority, it's the vocal majority. Because whenever they make a decision, look, I lived through the Les Miles era where it became 10 wins isn't good enough, and then it became, It regressed at some points to 8 wins, 7 wins, and it became you have to fire him, and then you didn't know what you were going to do when you did fire him. And then you didn't even fire him. You brought him back and then fired him in the middle of the year, and that's where I think that LSU fans have gotten this sense of, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills half the time I'm watching LSU because you care so much. But at the end of the day, you don't know if you're being heard or what's going to happen or even if the truth is actually the truth. Now it feels like those days are gone.
Yeah.
And you've seen LSU move off of Brian Kelly, which I think under a Joe Oliva, it doesn't happen.
Right.
He gets the vote of confidence from the board, all of those things, can't spend it, poor, all of that. That has changed. But LSU has gone all in on being I don't want to say it's athletics as a whole to be the driving force of what Louisiana is.
Yeah, the state.
Because I don't think there's a lot of people that would have done what LSU did, whether it be firing Brian Kelly or Matt McMahon, just because of the sheer numbers and like the
price.
The price of it all would be like, this is untenable. You can't do this in college athletics. Like, they're over there going, why not? And I don't, like Jacques said, I don't know where the money is coming from, but even in situations in which it feels like the department is going to spend the money, now it gets crowdfunded by LSU fans.
Right.
Who are good, like, well, there's how many people go fit in the box? How many times? You know, if you could have 13,000 people.
422,000 followers of LSU baseball.
Right.
It'd be $50 million if they all spent $10 a month. And you're witnessing like that. And I don't
think any other school is doing it like that.
I know. And I gave the shout out yesterday to NBA Tiger Boy and Coyote Operator and Miss Brandy Fry, Ethan Fry's mom, who did an awesome.
Stephen Milam's mom.
Yeah, she's doing a giveaway, like a raffle, and she raised almost $2,000, giving away 5 autographed signed cards for Ethan Ethan Fry. Milam's mom get in the mix. I saw them tagging Curiel's mom. Like it's the fan base, and that's kind of what I mean by saying it's the epicenter. If you're seeing the department spend the money and do these things, and you're seeing, well, maybe if there's lacking in this standpoint of not investing as much in this realm, well, how do you right that wrong? The fan base crowdfunds the money, you know? Like they put out a Twitter post, it gets some traction. We talk about it on our show. Rufino brings it up on his, like people are starting to bring it up on their podcasts, and then it starts to, mic'd up. Like I saw Jack posted on Mic'd Up yesterday that the donation there, you seeing the snowball go, and it's this new era of college athletics, and ultimately, to me, LSU is the poster child for it. The department is spending the money. The fan base is crowdfunding the money. They're finding ways because the game has changed. If you want to be competitive and you want to be a contender, you have to have what? You have to have money. That's how you get the players. I mean, you can be as good of a driver as you want, but if you're in a 2003 Camry, you're not going to go as fast as if you're in a Ferrari. So you got to have the players. Because if you feel like you've got the coach, and LSU, I think in many arenas, feels like they have the coach. Football, check. Basketball, men's, check. Women's basketball, check. Baseball, double check. Gymnastics, check. I mean, go down the list. Like they feel like they. So how do you become? If you've got that part figured out, how do you get the players money? And so the department raises it, and now the fan base is crowdfunding it, and it's crazy how much the game has changed. But you're witnessing, especially us as LSU people, all of it happen on the biggest scale. Like you're witnessing it from the department to the fan base to build winners. Like that's ultimately what it comes down to. You're doing this now. Like baseball gets the funding because it's a proven winner, right? Football right now, men's basketball right now, you're kind of funding to become a winner. And if it doesn't, the funding's not going to look the same, right? Because you're funding to be a winner, to be a contender.
But when you're funding to be not only a contender and a winner, because with those things comes the return on the investment. If you're not a contender and a winner and you invested what you have, this is a sunk cost that I don't know if LSU is able to. They're banking.
No, I mean
they have to win.
One of the biggest reasons why it was as easy for the fan base to turn on Brian Kelly as it was because they had stock in the game. The $1 million match, the crowdfunding of the football roster, and spending that on the $20 million portal class. Well, now the fan base has more stock in it than ever because what are we doing? What are the fans doing? Coughing up their own cash.
But that's the funniest thing about all of this because you see it's the LSU fan base in a perfect vacuum of when you go through the people that are donating money, you go through their Twitter and they're like all in, giving whatever I can to help support the LSU baseball team. In between those tweets, they're like, why the fuck did you swing at that pitch? And it's like you get the duality of man of LSU sports syndrome where it's, I care this much about it, but I am going to talk shit about it. But ultimately, I want LSU to win, so here's $500.
You know,
it's like, quit swinging at that shit. I'm not done writing the check yet. Like, I have to do both. But that's what you get. That's how much they care. It's like, I will donate to my own insane asylum.
Well, I'm paying
to be
for
crazy.
My happiness.
Yeah. I don't know what this drug's going to do, but sometimes it makes me feel great. Other times it makes me feel awful.
Right.
I am still writing the check to take it.
I think that's a great analogy, Lloyd.
Thank you.
You've been spot on with the analogies recently. That's awesome.
Sometimes it all, and I'm not even on my medicine today. Watch out for Thursday.
But no, I mean,
got superpowers from the pizza.
There,
oh my gosh,
that's for the last 30 minutes of the show. But it's a wild time, and I think this next athletic calendar that's in front of us is going to be one of the craziest ever. Because
to be on edge, to be like running for president, to be a lot of divisiveness around the LSU front.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean, not even going to know what to do with themselves.
This 2026-2027 athletic calendar is going to be unbelievable. Like
the tension,
all that's been built up, all that's been spent, all that's been done. The other fan bases, whether it's NC State or Ole Miss or Tennessee, or like they're all good. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, really, the center of all of this, like this new era of college sports, is 3 letters and 2 colors.
It built for this.
Like, and so like it is going to be must-see television of LSU and Oxford this weekend. But then you think about what LSU and Oxford is going to look like on September 19th, and then you think about what men's basketball and women's basketball schedules are going to look like next year, and like that's.
I mean, if you set up and
it's unbelievable.
Even for baseball, but certainly for football, you talk about John Eads going out there and needs to be in riot gear for baseball,
right?
Yeah.
But if you went for football and just set up a LSU is a better job than Ole Miss, change my mind table, you wouldn't make it.
That's why we have to go to Oxford.
Yeah.
We'll plop,
it's a great idea.
We'll plop Christian and Wyatt down at a table because those are the 2 most strongly opinionated people I know.
Yeah.
and just let them go to work.
They are cooked.
Arguing with me and Christian, we're on the same side. Yeah. We're not against each other anymore.
Tag team. I'll tell you what, they are fucked.
the streamer bodyguards.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. But get out of here. But we appreciate all of you hanging out with us. We will continue to talk about LSU football after we take a quick break. Don't forget, every single day we're brought to you by AJ Sports Cards. I will forever be indebted to AJ Sports Cards. They are the reason why we were able to get Tingle & Co. up and running, because they bet on us before day one, and we've been very, very happy with our partnership with them. They have an awesome event coming up on May 2nd, and I want that thing packed out. So if you appreciate Tingle & Co., and if you enjoy this show that we're able to bring to you every morning, and sometimes through the weekends or whenever, it's because of AJ Sports Cards and them betting on us. So if you appreciate that, you should appreciate them. And you should show up on May 2nd, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can run into us, but I'm telling you, you won't regret it. It is an awesome, awesome event that they put on, the AJ Sports Cards show. We went when it was at the Crown Plaza. They did it again in the Elite Football Academy this past December. They're going to be back in the Elite Football Academy May 2nd, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We'll be there. There's going to be awesome, awesome memorabilia, whether it's cards, signed helmets, pictures, jerseys. You can buy hobby packs and boxes and the whole thing. It really is an awesome, awesome event. And I want to pack this thing out because AJ Sports Cards deserves it, and they've bet on us since day number one. And so I want to pack this thing out for them. There is the graphic. Go follow them on social media so you can stay up to date on everything they've got going on. AJ Sports Cards 225BR on Instagram and AJ Sports Cards on Facebook. And if you're a vendor and you want a table, they have those available. Reach out to AJ Sports Cards on social media as well. We'll see you there Saturday, May 2nd, and we'll take a quick break here. Come back with more Tingle & Co. right after this.
Go flip some slabs.
Wardo's was created in honor of Alan Ward Granning III, fondly known by family and friends as Wardo. In 2019, the oldest brother of the tribe passed away unexpectedly. His remaining siblings and loved ones wanted to honor his memory in a special way. In 2022, Ward's family decided to combine the need for a sandwich shop in downtown Natchez with a desire to pay tribute to Ward's love of good friends, good times, and great food. Through blood, sweat, tears, and countless hours of hard work, Wardo's was born. So go visit Wardo's today at 309 North Broadway Street in Natchez, where the po' boys are so good, you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
Hey, Miss Lou, come visit us, Tom and Wright Granding at Go Martin on the Go Deli.
Go Martin has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need.
Located at the corner of Highland Boulevard and Highway 61 South in Natchez.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff,
where everyone is family.
When it comes to your home, the roof over your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's repair, a replacement, or storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing, built on trust, backed by quality.
All right, welcome back here as we're rolling through hour number 2 here on this Wednesday morning. Tingle & Co. brought to you by FanDuel every single day. FanDuel brings you our show. We appreciate them. Download the app. Go to the FanDuel website. And like I said, Masters weekend. Scotty Scheffler plus 550. Never a bad sprinkle. But speaking of what you got? Oh, you already got some picks in?
We do a Masters pool.
Okay. What you got?
You're only allotted so much money for the pool, but these are still things to sprinkle in. I will give one free pick for the Masters.
There we go. Shout out to FanDuel. Shout out to Lloyd. One free pick. What is it?
Justin Rose, day 1 winner.
There we go.
I want you to be a day 1 leader. He has finished second in the Masters 3 times, I believe, but always comes out firing. And he's been playing really well.
He has been playing very good. There you go. Lloyd, free pick of the day via our friends over at FanDuel. What were the odds on that?
Oh, I'd have to look it up.
That's okay.
He's in my pool team.
Okay, so you have Justin Rose, day 1 leader in the Masters. There you go. Shout out to Lloyd for giving y'all some free winners.
I'm a golf guy.
Free winners via our friends over at FanDuel. We will listen to Lane Kiffin speak a little bit this morning as he met with the media yesterday after spring practice. I believe number 6, maybe number 7. Good thing Christian's not here. But so we won't get any of the breakdown from practice because Christian's not here. But what we will do is we'll listen to what Lane Kiffin has to say this morning. He talked about a handful of things in his press conference yesterday, and we've got that cut up, some sound for you. We will start with him talking about Leavitt's injury. That was the biggest talking point of the day. Will this be clip number 1 and number 2? You can just play them back to back. That was the biggest talking point. The biggest maybe storyline from yesterday was Leavitt. Like we talked with JD about, Leavitt posted on social media the other day. You can see his foot all wrapped up. Looks like he had a surgery or something, re-injured. There was no context. And then he follows through and lets everyone know, hey, this is what it was. All I got was the pins removed. It was a regularly scheduled operation. This is on schedule. Like, this is what the calendar was supposed to look like. And then obviously Kiffin comes out yesterday, and you're going to hear his answers on Leavitt, the injury, the post, and what it remains for spring. So we will let Lane speak, and then we'll talk about it right after.
Bless you.
None of these are surprise. This is the timeline we expected, and had the screw removed yesterday, and everything went well. It was something that going into it we were going to know that it was going to be unfortunate. He was going to miss spring a lot of it, but that was going to allow the other guys opportunities, and just kind of looked at things. I just feel nowadays. It's a little easier to play quarterback than it used to be years ago as far as how long you've been there. If you look around the country, a lot of people transfer and go play at new places, and look at the previous place we were at. The guy didn't get there till the summer. Kind of that went into the decision where I feel like years ago you've been really concerned that the quarterback's going to miss your spring. He's done a great job mentally in the meetings and walkthroughs and able to throw some individual before this procedure. I don't think he will. He's on crutches now, but maybe.
So the last part, that last clip, I don't think he will. Maybe. He's on crutches now, but maybe. He was asked if Sam is out for spring, or if he will practice again this spring, and he said, I don't think he will. I think the first, what'd you say? Maybe. I think the first part of the answer in the original clip is the part to focus on, and that's it, right? This is not a surprise. And that's the part where I understand the maybe concern that comes from him getting the pins out and he won't be back out on the field for spring, but it's not a surprise. Like, we knew this going into it, right? When Sam Leavitt signed, when you were recruiting Sam Leavitt, what was our biggest concern the whole time was, well, he's not going to be there for spring. Like, that's not a surprise. And I think maybe where it stems from is the fact that he had been out there and he had been moving well and you had been seeing him, but he wasn't in 11-on-11, and I think so maybe it's surprised, oh, he's out there. There's nothing on his foot. There's no brace. There's no wrap. He looks good. And then wait, now he's got the pins out. He won't be back out there. I don't think it's a surprise at all. I think it's a good thing that he was able to get the work in the first 2 weeks of spring that he did. And there's only 2 or so weeks left. It's the end of April that it ends, so there's 3-ish weeks, maybe 2.5 that spring football continues on that he'll miss. But that'll be the recovery. He'll get back out there for the summer, get to work with the guys, and then be back for fall camp. This isn't a surprise. Now, what it does is it brings back up the original concern of there's a lot of pressure on this season. There's a lot of pressure on Sam Leavitt as the quarterback and what's coming up this season. But I don't want to sit here and start to pound the drum of, oh my gosh, what I mean, now LSU's their starting quarterback's not going to be out for. We knew that. That was part of the discussion when you were recruiting him out of the portal. He's not going to be a part of spring. They've done 11 on 11 every day. That's how they start practice, and he has watched. So whether or not the pins are in or they're out or he's on crutches or not, Landon Clark's with the 1s and Husan Longstreet's with the 2s. Now, ultimately, it will be Sam Leavitt that's your starting quarterback. But this isn't a surprise, and I know there can be some concern with it. And look, there still is. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, it's going to be all fine. He'll be back. But what you do, the position we are in is Lane Kiffin stands there, says this is not a surprise. Sam Leavitt says in the story this was scheduled. This was always the plan. Okay, so if this isn't a surprise and they knew this was coming, that means they likely have a plan for it, and they were prepared for it, and they will be prepared for it. So that's where my confidence lies. This isn't a surprise. They didn't not know this was happening. It didn't just pop up. Oh, Sam Leavitt's getting the pins out of his foot. Well, that really throws a wrench in what we're trying to do. No, they were prepared for this. It wasn't a surprise. They knew this was coming, and I think. It'll be very, very interesting to watch when we get back out there for fall camp and Leavitt is back in the mix and he is the guy, what it looks like, getting him up to speed. But the benefit of it is he's got 2 years of experience as a starter. If you watch the film, he fits what Lane Kiffin wants to do. And Lane Kiffin said it there. They in the past, literally last season, did a very good job from a mental standpoint of getting a transfer quarterback that got there during the summer up to speed to run an offense. Because Trinidad at Ole Miss, I mean, he was a summer enrollee. He learned the offense. He got in the mix during fall, and he was prepared to run it from week 3 on. Now, it's not comparing Leavitt and Trinidad from a skill standpoint. That's not the conversation. The conversation is we have experience getting people up to speed and into the system on a quicker schedule without spring. They did it last year. They're going to do it again. It's the same offensive staff. It's Kiffin and Charlie Weiss doing the same process, just with a different quarterback in a different place. And so the biggest confidence I have is he sat there and said, this is not a surprise, which in my mind means they have a plan and they are prepared for it, and we'll witness that as time goes on. One of the biggest things he talked about yesterday, and the answer he went on long as his clip number 3, was he was asked about the 9-game SEC schedule. And I think this is something we haven't really talked about all that much. And you can see how much it's on the mind of the coaches because Lane Kiffin's answers were between a minute and a half yesterday. And really a lot of them around 50-ish seconds. I know that because I cut them up and I saw the timestamps. This answer was 2.5 minutes of him talking about the nine-game schedule. Credit to our guy, Buddy Sanji, for asking the question, the Bud man. But Lane Kiffin obviously has thought about it a lot and has his feelings about it. He goes on for about 2.5 minutes here answering his thoughts on the 9-game SEC schedule.
You can tell that this is something that he has very much thought a lot about.
Yeah. And is not
happy about it at all. This is about as demonstrative as I've seen him.
100%.
Yeah, again, I'm not going to complain about it. I was very outspoken in meetings with the commissioner, with presidents, athletic directors. That was not, in my opinion, that was not a good idea until the system of how they selected teams was fixed. Until it was fixed that there were automatic bids, until it was truly fixed that a strength of schedule matters how it should, much more like basketball does, until that's fixed, it makes zero sense to me to go add another hard game, put teams on the road 5 times in this conference, which top to bottom is the hardest conference to play in and the hardest stadiums. But we did. I understand there's always things that go into decisions besides the way that I think. And so I'm sure there were financial reasons for it, but I don't think that anybody now that they've kind of seen how selections have gone, thinks that there's value in that from that standpoint. And you're going to continue to have this, in my opinion, this threshold until they go to more teams or a different system that 10-2's in, 9-3's out. So you just got some more losses in your conference and beat yourself up more, which is different than any other conference plays from a toughness standpoint. And my thing was, so you're going to have whatever you have a lot of years, and you have, we have 8 of the top 10 hardest schedules in the country. So you made it harder. You know, you don't get more points when you're already the first hardest schedule to get, to stay the first. So I don't. I was not a fan of it at all, and there's more into it besides just, when you play some easier games, it's not just a physical standpoint, it's a mental standpoint of nowadays, because of knowing the portal's coming, you get to play other players, you get to keep your play counts down. There's a lot into it besides just, the game itself, why you schedule that way. Last season, I think we looked as good as anybody at the end of the season, the place we were at going to the playoffs from a health standpoint, mentally and physically. Well, that was a pretty well put together schedule. 8 home games. So when you do have your game in non-conference, that you don't play as well, you can get by a little bit versus, going to add a game in the swamp or something is your other game.
He feels very strongly about it, and rightfully so. I mean, you can tell, and Lloyd, you made this point during the break, he doesn't like things that don't make sense. Mm-hmm. Like the intelligence of Lane Kiffin, I don't think we've ever doubted, is showing there. Like he is just like, it's very obvious of like, this doesn't make any sense. Why are we doing it?
And it's something that's happening to him specifically. Right. Like when I'm involved, he's like, I was very vocal about it. And I don't feel like they go into these meetings, with all of the SEC coaches. There's a lot of other coaches that have more, I would say, like bluster to them. Like when Lane Kiffin, we've talked about this. He's very like soft spoken a little bit. Yep. But if it's this is something that's clearly been on his mind, and he just can't wrap his head around why they're doing it, and then he goes, well, I know why, money.
He says money.
But it's not benefiting you in any way, even that money that you think you're making, but that's for the conference. He's thinking about the individual. I'm thinking about my team.
Right.
And every coach should be thinking the same thing. And it's like our thoughts are falling on deaf ears. Like, you don't care about necessarily, you care about the SEC, but you don't really care about what makes up the SEC.
Right.
And so why are we even here? You're going to do whatever you want to do.
What parts of it do you care about? It seems like it's just the
regular season.
Because
10-2 gets in, 9-3 gets left out.
And that's been the status quo. That's been the line.
And you just added another that game 3 for half the teams in the conference.
So much harder to be 10-2. Because like if you're LSU, you play 10 Power 4 games
in a row
in 2026. Like you get Tech in week 2, McNeese in week 4. That's it. Between those games, like around those, you have Clemson, Ole Miss, A&M. I mean, or maybe it's McNeese in week 5 because A&M and Ole Miss are back to back. Week
Clemson,
5.
Tech, Ole Miss, A&M, McNeese.
Right, and then you go on a stretch of straight SEC games.
At Kentucky.
7 straight, right? Kentucky, Auburn, Mississippi State.
Kentucky, Mississippi State, Auburn, Alabama,
Texas, Tennessee,
Arkansas.
I mean, that is a tough it's brutal. It's the toughest conference in the sport, and you have to play 9 of those games. But the thing is, it would be okay if there was an automatic bid. That's the real point in this whole thing is, wait, we didn't get automatic SEC playoff bids?
Made it harder for no reason.
And we're adding an extra conference game? Because I would understand, hey, we'll add the extra conference game if we get an automatic 4 teams in. Of course. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
You get your cake and eat it too.
You get to you get 4 teams in automatically. They could be 8. They could all be 8-4, and you get awesome regular season games because you're playing more of them. So LSU does play at Texas in the same season they play Ole Miss, A&M, and Alabama, and Tennessee, and Auburn. Like you do get those games, but now you get those games, but you're sacrificing the fact that you might not be able to get in the dance because there's not an automatic bid. And look, I get that the Big Ten's got 9-game conference schedule as well. Those are not the same 9 games. There is no Minnesota in the SEC. You're not playing Rutgers on a Saturday. Like, I'm not trying. I am.
That's just the facts.
There's a distinct difference between going up to Maryland
right.
rather than going to, like, Jordan-Hare.
Right.
I think they're in tiers where they're at in the conference. Those are about the same. And look, I think the Big Ten's the best conference in college football right now. You can say it's tougher to play in the SEC because it's deeper. The Big Ten has the last 3 national champions. You can't argue that. But it is tougher to play in the SEC. It's deeper. And what he said, 5 road games. You're going to play 5 SEC road games. Some teams, half the conference.
Right.
You get a schedule where you've got to go to Death Valley. You've got to go to the Swamp. You've got to go to Athens. You've got to go to Bryant-Denny. You've got to go to Kyle Field. These are the toughest places to play in the entire country.
Right.
It's tough to go to Indiana. It's tough to go to Oregon. It's tough to go to – it's not really tough to go to USC. But Ohio State, Michigan. But,
right.
You're getting so many of these cupcake games at the bottom that it doesn't matter that much. The system is so broken. I don't even like the automatic qualifiers thing.
Right.
I think – if you were going to make this system the way it is, I think automatic qualifiers is the way to go. Yeah. But just that in and of itself makes me sick too, because I think that's a dumb idea.
Yeah.
Because it should just be whatever number of teams it is, 10, 12, 8, 4. It should just be the best teams.
Yeah.
I don't want – because there's not going to be 4 SEC teams in the top 12 every single year. Sometimes only going to be 3. Sometimes there's going to be 5. So you're fucking yourself.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's the dumbest thing.
And my thing is, okay, imagine LSU plays their schedule, right? They play, like I said, 10 Power 4 games.
Yeah.
1 ACC team and 9 SEC teams, and they're top 2 in the conference, and they play in the SEC championship game.
Mm-hmm.
Just from a sheer, health standpoint, you're playing 11 tough, physical, Power 4 football games. How much of a disadvantage does that put you when you go against an ACC team that plays 9 ACC games and gets to play that schedule and doesn't have to play, or a disadvantage that you have to play? I'm LSU. I go through this 11-game Power 4 schedule with 2 in-state schools sprinkled in, and then I get to play. Then I have to play Notre Dame, who's not even in a conference, and automatically gets in if they win 10 games. I don't think that's very fair. It's just it's stupid and it's broken, and that's why Lane Kiffin answered it the way he did, because it makes no sense. There is no benefit to SEC teams playing 9 conference games besides that the conference itself makes more money. It's very obvious that's the reason. If you're going to play 9 conference games, there should be an automatic qualifier. I agree with Wyatt. I'm not the biggest fan of an automatic qualifier because it should be the best 12 teams. What you've seen, there is an automatic qualifier for G5 schools, and I think that's stupid. Because I don't think JMU should play Oregon on a Saturday night in the playoff. No disrespect to the in-state school, Tulane shouldn't be playing on a Saturday night against Ole Miss to get into the dance. They're not going to win a national championship.
A team they already lost to
by
40.
Let's put a team in there that might. Texas was 9-3. I think it's safe to say they probably have better odds to win it than Tulane.
And that's the best example of this because they went 9-3. They lost at Florida, They lost at Georgia.
Right.
Their third loss was a non-conference game against Ohio State, which they did not have to play.
If they wouldn't have played it, they're in.
If they had scheduled the Citadel in week 1 and won 40-0, they're in the playoff.
Yep.
And that's so sad. That's so sad that now you're, what's the word? It benefits you to schedule lighter.
Yep.
And like LSU has a couple on the schedule. I think they did like a back-to-back with SMU in like 28 and 29, and then like I think Arizona State's in 2030. I wouldn't be surprised if you try to get out of those games because it does not benefit you.
It doesn't benefit to play Clemson.
It hurts you, actually.
You should play anyone except Clemson week 1. I mean, like, and that's not a scared thing. I think LSU is going to stomp Clemson in the Real Death Valley.
It doesn't do you any. It doesn't matter if you do or not. The only thing that matters is if you win or lose.
Right.
Like that's what Lane Kiffin was trying to say is you can't increase your strength of schedule. It doesn't matter if you have the number one strength of schedule. It doesn't go up by 10 points and you get credit for that.
Right.
It's like if you have an A in the class, you have an A in the class.
Mm-hmm.
You can't improve upon that anymore. So why are we trying to? Which like we can't do any better than what we're doing, and we don't even get credit for it anyway.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure he's looking at the way LSU, like he stumbled into the LSU schedule. He didn't make this schedule.
Right.
I'm sure he's looking like, why the fuck are we doing this?
Yeah, like what are like?
What's the benefit?
I mean, you look at the schedule.
Oh,
right?
I did this in 2007. Well, we can get out of it in 2027. Then.
Yeah. Can we pull it up, put it on the screen, like to look at? Because I mean, what we've always done is you break it into 3 tiers of the schedule, right? Yeah. You have your first 4 games, you have your middle 4 games, you have the back 4. And in the first 4 games of your schedule, you play Clemson, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M. That's in the first 4 games of the schedule.
2 playoff teams.
2 teams that made the playoff last year, 1 team that made the playoff 2 years ago. I mean, that's quite the first 4. And then in the middle 4, you go on the road to Jordan-Hare, which, look, I don't want to pretend like Auburn's this powerhouse team, but they've got a new head coach. They've got a new quarterback. They've got new life, new excitement. And Jordan-Hare's a tough place to play regardless. You're going to Kentucky, who's got a new head coach, new life, new excitement, right? Now, the middle 4 games look to be the easiest, but even in that stretch you play 3 conference games, 2 of them being on the road.
And you know what I noticed the first thing this came out? Look at the dates on there. How many bye weeks are in there?
1.
1 fucking bye week.
You've lost a bye week now.
You have not only added an extra conference game, you've eliminated a bye week. So you're telling me 8 weeks consecutively, you have to play Clemson, Louisiana Tech, at Ole Miss, Texas A&M, McNeese, at Kentucky, Mississippi State, and then you have to go to Auburn
after
your
playing how many
8th
games
week of
before?
games in a row.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that. I think Auburn's going to be a solid football team. I don't think they're going to be better than you, but that's absurd. To have to go to Jordan-Hare your 8th week of games in a row in the SEC, I mean, it's ridiculous.
And I would imagine, I'd love to see when Auburn's bye is.
Well, and that's Kiffin's discussion yesterday, talking about depth. Like he brought up that he was asked about Richard Anderson. They asked him, like, do you expect a guy like him to perform year 1? He was like, yeah. He was like, you're lacking depth. That's the position they're lacking the most depth. That's why they went in the portal, and they committed what they did to these freshmen is because you're gonna have to play. And that 8 game stretch is why. Like 8 games in a row you have to play in conference. It's tough, man. It's going to make to be exciting as a fan to watch, but from this it just doesn't make sense. And that's why you see Lane Kiffin react the way he does, and rightfully so. It doesn't make sense. It's at the detriment of it's at the detriment of my program. I'm in a worse spot because of this. You know, like it and of course, I mean, the people that are spending the $40 million, they're not looking at it and going, well, you know, it's tough. You know, you got to play 9 SEC games. You know, it's gonna be hard. Mm-hmm. No, they're saying we're spending that so that you can go win those 9 SEC games.
And so it's going to make for good football during the year. You play more SEC games. That means there's good football, more football to watch. But every team is based upon what do you do in the postseason? What do you make the playoff?
And your bye weeks have become not just your non-conference games.
No. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, like that's
how you have to treat it.
Yeah, you have to
you're going to play for a quarter.
You have to treat McNeese. I mean, because McNeese is between A&M and who?
Kentucky.
Like, before you go on that last stretch, you have to treat McNeese as a let's
get everybody healthy.
Let's get everybody right. Let's be okay.
I mean, I'll even consider the same thing for Tech because it's Clemson, Tech, Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Like so whenever you play, and they're playing Charlotte. Ole Miss is scheduled Charlotte week 2. So it's as much as you're going to want reps, you're going to have to be able to continue to stay healthy.
Very analytically driven on those catapults are going to be working.
Because that, like, week 2 is a perfect time where you want all of your starters to play 4 quarters, but I don't know if you look at it that way anymore. Like in the old system when you had 2 buys, you're like, oh, we'll be able to get healthy at some point. Let's make sure they know how to run the system. And that's what I would hope that they would still do. But at some point you start looking to Sam Leavitt going to play 4 quarters. You know, that's why people are scared of this entire thing because of what you saw last year. Like, should Nussmeier have sat? Maybe. Doesn't look healthy to me. Mm-hmm. But it's like, oh, he's got to get reps in, though. It's like, well, does he? He's been here for 5 years. Right. Seems like he would know the offensive system, or that's the bluster that you have for yourself of, he's fine, he's going to play. Okay. But with Leavitt, this is a real cause for how do you feel after week 1 of game action when you haven't really been able to play on your foot? Right. Game speed is different than practice speed.
100%.
But you see, he's never been in Lane Kiffin's system, but I'd imagine it'll translate. But these are these are why the question marks exist.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, it's like the McNeese, the Tech game, the McNeese game, those are bye weeks. I mean, it's not a mistake that the McNeese game is scheduled when it's scheduled. Coming off of that first stretch of those first 3 games.
Clemson, Ole Miss, A&M.
Like, okay, let's put McNeese there so we can take a beat, right? Before you start that next stretch of
probably had
7 straight SEC games,
and probably had something to do with never mind. Another bone for McNeese.
Of course. You're an idiot. So it's going to be exciting football, but just from a common sense standpoint of the program, it doesn't make any of it. So, but it'll be exciting. I can't wait. Like I said, I mean, from our perspective, I mean, we're going to have a front row seat to sit back and watch a lot of good football.
Yeah, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. And that's why Lane Kiffin reacted the way he did.
But I try to – sorry, I didn't mean
to. No, you're good. You're good.
I try to stay in the, like, excited mindset of, like –
good football.
The Clemson game is so much more exciting than if they had scheduled
Georgia
Southeastern.
Cookman.
You know what I mean? It would have still been fun. No, well, that would have been a fucking toss-up.
They should now.
Yeah. But, like –
get our lick back.
They've put so much onus on eliminating as many toss-up games as possible from your schedule when that's what everyone who's not just a fan of a team but a fan of college football in general, those are the games you fall in love with growing
competitive
up.
Football games.
Yes. You're going to Bryant-Denny to play Alabama. You start out in Jerry's World against Oregon. You play TCU. You play North Carolina in Atlanta. Like, that shit is awesome. And you're going to eliminate it from college football.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree.
Sick.
And I think that's what LSU fans, and this could just be me, but I think you mentioned the exact game I was going to bring up to kind of prove what the fan base is. It's the Oregon game. Like, I think you're still chasing that high of scheduling these week 1 opponents because you utterly dominated Oregon, and it was like it was such a statement win, the statement game. That's
Miami in 2018.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they've been looking for. They always look for that to be LSU's here. It announces yourself very quickly.
Last season.
Yeah,
I mean,
it does. But for some reason, I think it's just an LSU thing where it's like, oh no, we'll play anybody, anywhere, anytime, any place.
When you won the Natty, who'd you play week 1? Played
Georgia Southern. Then you played Texas.
Well,
everybody thinks Texas.
Right, in week 2.
Yeah, week 2.
I mean, like, there's no benefit to that game anymore. I mean, like, you should just play Georgia Southern.
Yeah, but it really is like the barometer for what LSU.
Right.
Like the season, whenever you had Leonard Fournette his freshman year and you play Wisconsin, and you're like, Well, never
this isn't
mind.
gonna be fun.
Yeah, you got to come back. John Diar's to come back. Like the same thing against TCU 2 times in a row. It's like they're not good. Mm-hmm. And when you go to Lambeau,
I was there,
and you're like, yeah, this should be that should be mentioned among like the titans of what LSU can do. It's like you get to go to Lambeau Field, play in a game that's like week 1. It should be this thing that you remember. It's like we're fucking ass. Mm-hmm. You need Tre'Davious White to score points. You need to run back every interception you get. You can't turn the ball over once, and then it becomes everyone's like LSU is over here. They're not what you think they are. But then you still have the Oregon moment, the Miami moment, where you're like, oh, they're for real this year. And I think LSU has always kind of chased that and a check.
And that's where I don't understand it from the SEC standpoint. Is it used to be like you've got teams proving we are capable of being a championship contending team. Now it's just teams saying, I don't want to lose.
Yeah,
just trying not to falter, keeping your head above water,
just get to the dance.
And just get to the playoff, which sucks. You're ruining the entire regular season.
Well, that's just for us because we've grown up on the regular season mattering so much.
Yeah,
and so like for people that are college football, like this is what they understand and we don't because we're not in the same position of the people in power. College football rolls on. It's literally just dazed and confused. It's
well, that's
they get older. We stay the same age.
I mean, as much as
they can get mad all they want, you'll be 40 and still mad. Guess what? There's a whole crop of 16-year-olds that all saw college football. Like the regular season doesn't matter. I can't wait for the playoff. And we're like, no. You're missing out on when it was the best.
Every week used to be the playoff.
But this is where I will push back.
But it didn't make enough money.
As much as you've lost that allure of like what we grew up on, where you can't lose one game. It still does have the meaning. Like it's not to the same level, but
for sure.
I mean, you didn't go into Oxford going, you know what? It's okay if we lose this one. Like, of
course,
you went into Oxford.
I do in the fourth quarter when they're down, with 4 minutes left.
Well, no,
you
can make sense of it. You can make sense of it after, and go. You know what? It's one loss. Get right. Bye week. South Carolina. It'll be okay, right? But I mean, still, you're living and dying by what happened. I mean, you lose game 1 to USC in 2024. You felt down until you beat Ole Miss in week whatever that was, 6 or 7. God, I can't stop. I mean, like, it does still have the meaning. It's just in a different manner. Like, it's not...
Oh, no, we'll do the same thing this year where you look at... You go, you're really putting yourself behind the barrel if you lose to Clemson.
Right.
Like, you can lose, but you better fucking not.
Right. Like, I mean, each week is still a must-win, like, regardless of your record. I mean, unless you get through Auburn undefeated...
I don't know. If you drop back-to-back to Alabama, Texas,
then it just turns Tennessee and Arkansas into must-wins. Mm-hmm. But every week is a must-win. I mean, you're looking at Clemson, you're going, got to get off to the right start. You can't lose a non-SEC game. Must-win. Tech obviously need to win it. Ole Miss, that's just for bragging rights. It's a must-win. But that first 4-game stretch, you want to come out of it 4-0 because you don't want to drop one that early. And then you look at the mid-stretch. I mean, yeah, it's McNeese, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Auburn. But you look at them and you go,
you haven't had
we want to stack up. We want to stack up these wins because you don't want to lose one of those. And then you go into Alabama, Texas, Tennessee, Arkansas saying, shoot, we can only lose one of these. It's going to be exciting. And look, we're going to be here for it all and very, very excited for what this football season has ahead of us. I appreciate Lane Kiffin and his answer. He does a great job in the press conferences, truly. I want to play one clip from the presser. It's clip number 7, Lloyd, just to give him 2 claps because it's a great answer and it's what LSU is supposed to be. It's him talking about former Tigers and the access they get to the building. Obviously, you saw Jamarcus Russell in the building yesterday, which has its own story, of course.
That was wild.
I mean, Lane, Jamarcus, and Oakland, the whole deal. But just from a bigger picture standpoint, having former Tigers in the building is what LSU is. They built it. They should be here. Here's Lane Kiffin talking about that.
Yeah, our building's open to former players and talked to a number of them. Some have come around. I've reached out to others to make sure that they understood that. This is the place they put together and built. So it was really neat to see Jamarcus. I'd missed him. He was here one time when I first got here, but I missed him when he was up here visiting. So it's great to see that. It continues to amaze me at life that you think you have your life figured out when you're younger and you have no idea what's going to happen. And I was just thinking when I saw him today, and then I sent T. Martin over to him today, and I'm like, who would have thought, I don't even know, but it's probably 18 years ago or something like that, when he's the number 1 pick at the Raiders and the head coach that years later, it's actually the only time I've ever been in this building, was for his pro day. And 18 years later, I'd be here, and T. Martin would be here, and Jamarcus would be walking up. So you never know what's going to happen, but it was great to see him.
Like I said, I mean, that's what LSU's supposed to be. If Jamarcus Russell wants to go into the building, Jamarcus Russell gets to go into the building. If Rohan Davey wants to watch practice, Rohan Davey gets to watch practice. If Kevin Falk wants to talk to the players, Kevin Falk gets to talk to the players. If Tyrann Mathieu wants to spin by, Tyrann Mathieu gets to spin. I mean, they all have a key card to get in the building. They built it.
Thumb.
That's how, of course, it's a thumbprint. All of their thumbprints should be in it. If your fingerprints are left on this program, your thumbprint's on the building to get in. I mean, and all of them. And it's also cool to hear the story because, of course, you remember Lane, Jamarcus, Oakland, number 1 pick, the whole thing. But to hear him say the first time and only time he was in the indoor prior to being the head football coach at LSU was to watch maybe one of the best pro days ever. I mean, it was to watch Jamarcus put on a show at pro day. That in tandem with his game against Notre Dame. I mean, he's just, okay, now, he's the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Like before that, okay.
Oh, you weren't sure if he was leaving.
And then, oh, no, he's going to be the first guy off the board. And obviously there's a lot of, well, Lane wanted Calvin and the whole thing, whatever. The first time Lane got to go into the indoor facility was to watch Jamarcus do what Jamarcus was put on God's green earth to do, and it was throw a football. It's pretty cool when there's it's very obvious what you were created to do, and it was slang the rock. And of course, life happens, and it's been really cool to see Jamarcus come back out and be around and be very outspoken. And I mean, what was it, the Pivot podcast that he did? I know he did a write-up on whatever, the Players Tribune told his story. Like, it's been cool to see him back, in the media waves, and of course back around the building because it has been so up and down for him. But it's pretty cool to know that the first time Lane Kiffin, who's now the LSU head coach, was in the facility was to watch Jamarcus slang the football at one of the best pro days ever. So, pretty cool stuff. And 2 claps to Lane Kiffin for understanding what this place is about. And he continues to do that. And look, the stock is high now. There's been no issues because you haven't lost the game yet. But so far, Lane Kiffin continues to crush it at LSU, understanding the job, even though his personality may be a little more to himself. He's done a good job being on the floats, being at the parades, and obviously letting people around the building. 2 claps for Lane Kiffin. Ready.
2 claps for number 2 coming back to the building. Ready.
There he is. Shout out to Jamarcus.
If there's one person that, did you cost me my job? Or did I not do enough for you and your job? There could have been tension between Jamarcus and Lane Kiffin. It's like, no, I'm coming back to the building.
I mean, Lane was also very outspoken about,
I didn't want to draft
wanted to take Calvin Johnson.
He's going to be a Hall of Famer. And he was right.
And credit to Lane, to go to that pro day and walk away and still go, I want the wide receiver from Georgia Tech. Mm-hmm. It's pretty impressive from a football mind standpoint because I, for one, would have fainted watching that pro day and been like, yeah. I would have did the same thing everyone else did. Number 1 pick. But Lane's very smart, but he's been outspoken, so there could have been tension, like Lloyd said. I mean, there could have been some bad blood. But what's bigger than all of that?
Damn.
3 letters and 2 colors. LSU's bigger than it all.
I'd love to see. Where is the pro day?
The film?
Yeah.
I don't know if they have that video anywhere.
We have J.J. Russell.
I feel like we would have seen it.
It would have came up yesterday after Kiffin tells that story. Brandy Fry just posted on her Twitter. This deserves 2 claps. I know you can't really see who that is. That is Ethan Fry and Bear Jones posted up.
Hell yeah.
After
miss you.
After the minor league game yesterday.
You so much.
Miss both of you guys.
So much.
Miss you guys a lot. Ethan Fry is a massive human.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I know, obviously, you look at Bear, and Bear was a monster. I mean, him and Fry are the same size in this picture.
Fry's massive.
He's huge, and he runs like a 4.4.
I know we're not even like a year removed from last season's championship.
I mean, look at that.
I think Ethan Fry may go down as one of the most underrated LSU
Oh,
baseball
100%.
players of all. Like, I don't think people truly understand how good that dude was.
Very rarely does somebody grab a hold of the DH spot and like make that like the most like you're the 2-hole hitter.
Yeah.
Like
I think he was the best overall hitter on your team.
Oh, he was the most important.
Bear had
down the
more
stretch.
pop. Curiel had more average, but if you're looking all-around hitter, best at bats, he was the best hitter on your team.
He was the most dangerous hitter on that team.
Yeah, and he's the one who saved you against Little Rock.
Yeah, it was a double.
I mean, he went 4 for 4.
I mean, it was...
The double was like the moment where you were like, okay, we can fucking breathe. Because you had left the bases loaded like 2 innings in a row.
There was nobody...
And then you went two outs again, and you're like, no way. If we don't score here...
Right.
You're running out of time.
You're running out of time.
What was the thing? There was no... like, and I remember on the show after, me and Lloyd were on the air, and I was like, I literally said, there's nobody on earth I wanted at the plate more than Ethan Fry in that moment. Because he was on a tear.
He was.
No, I mean, I completely agree. I think he will go down very, very underrated. And he shouldn't, because he was vital to your ability to win a national championship last year. And I think that's kind of the story of last year's national championship team, is there's just so many underrated pieces.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, Daniel Dickinson, because what they were good at wasn't the most eye-popping aspect of the game.
No, it wasn't
like,
sexy.
for that defense to be as good as it was, like, elite, one of the best you'll ever see, you kind of take for granted until
this
you turn the
season.
page to this season. You're like, you know, it was actually pretty nice when Daniel Dickinson and Michael Braswell were on the field, and there was 3 shortstops on the field at one time, and they turned a 5-4-3 double play like it was routine regardless.
And you had Luis behind the dish.
Right.
He was phenomenal.
I mean, and to have those guys defensively in the outfield.
They lost 2 games last year when Ethan Fry got a hit.
That's pretty crazy.
Pretty important.
Yeah.
Vital.
I mean, Jay said it. He's like, he's the hottest hitter in the country whenever we needed him most.
Right.
Like, yeah. I think, because to your point, like, I don't think people, Fry, you look at him and you see, it's almost, shouldn't he be better? Like, did you see the body and the makeup, the build, and then whenever he does get contact or hit a home run, it's 450 feet.
Yeah.
And then it became he kind of put it all together.
Yeah.
Where, like, he's stealing bases, balls that are hit hard in the gaps or doubles. You're like, oh, if he does that all the time, then he started doing it all the time, and it became, oh, there's not a hole in the lineup.
He was a top 100 draft pick as a DH. He never played defense. Mm-hmm. Like, really, in his career at LSU, he just hit. And the Astros were like, we're gonna take him with the 90th pick.
Yeah, run the 60, run it again.
Okay,
yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I mean, he was a top 100 pick, and all he did was hit.
I was fighting I didn't know the hill was that steep to climb. And I started clamoring for
come back and play left field.
I was asking his mom and his dad.
Yeah, I mean, please let him play left field.
They're like, I don't.
Well, because that was my thing.
Tough
was like
to match the number.
That was my thing. Was he? You know, like, oh, he needs one more season. He can be a
superstar.
He could be a superstar if he gets plays with both sides of the ball. And then it was like, well, actually,
I already am a superstar.
It was the same way. Like, I remember when Mason Smith left LSU football, go to the draft, and I was like, didn't really put together that good of a season. It would be huge for him to come back for the defensive line room now that Blake Baker's back, and then he gets drafted in the 2nd round by the Jags, and I was like, oh, well, good call, Mason. You got good advice.
Yeah.
You know, that was the right choice.
It's a great analogy.
You know, like, I thought
that
you needed a little bit more to put out there, but obviously you didn't.
6'5", 240, runs like a deer.
That still plays.
Yeah.
You know, that'll get you drafted.
And if we know he can swing it.
Yeah.
I think part of it is because he didn't really do much the first 2 years. Like, when I remember him coming in, I remember it being like that recruiting class. It was him and it was Bear Jones.
Right.
And Bear Jones started off really hot, was great as a freshman, great sophomore year. And Fry kind of couldn't really get his way into the lineup those first 2 years. Didn't hit a home run until last season. And then it happened, and I feel like everyone was kind of like, well, we expected. We've been waiting for this for 3 years, and didn't really give him the credit that he deserves. But that guy's a stud.
Stud.
And we talked about this last year while it was happening, and it's very. I wish it wouldn't be blooming again this time of the year, but we talked ad nauseum about how important it was to have a great defense and how good that defense is, and how like historically, even before it was said, like the fielding percentage was so high for the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you're not going to see this very often. And now you're starting to see kind of like you said, the other side of it. It's like
you're also not going to understand how important it is until you're living now.
Right. And now you get to see the difference I was talking about. Because that ball to Dardar doesn't get by Daniel Dickinson.
No, it doesn't.
The ball down the line against Pearson didn't get by Braswell. Like those are the
ball
difference.
Doesn't pop out of Bear Jones' glove.
Right, never. Like that, it happened. Remember, it happened one time in Omaha.
Yep.
And they're like, he fucking sucks at first. It's
Right.
like, okay, that y'all are overreacting, and still could have played third if you'd wanted, but put him at first. So you had 2 third basemen.
No, I mean, how many times did Luis let a ball get to the backstop?
Never.
Like that. I think that was the first introduction. Was like Luis Hernandez.
Well,
thank the heavens.
And this is not a shot at Kate Aaron Beatty. The same thing happened to Aaron Beatty last year.
Right.
I was watching games and I was like, I don't know if he can see at night, because during the day it was fine, and then it became pass ball after. It's like, I don't know if he's really picking it up, and then he started to track it a little bit better, and then it became Poppy's playing every game.
Yeah.
And it never really happened again.
Well, because the postseason he played
every game.
Started at catcher every game, which is unbelievable.
Where is he now?
He played on the Puerto Rican. He was on the World Baseball Classic team, wasn't he?
I want to say he was.
I think he was. I thought I saw him on the roster. But look, and from an LSU baseball perspective, last night was tough. You lose 10-7. You're not really in the position to lose games like that. But the conversation, like we said, it's a day-to-day thing. Monday and Tuesday, we're in a great spot. You started to turn the corner. I mean, ultimately, if I'm going to be honest, playing Bethune-Cookman and you score 7 runs, you shouldn't lose that game. You shouldn't give up more than 7 to a team like that. You shouldn't give up more than 7 to a midweek team. Now, would it have been nice to score more runs? Yeah. To go up there in the bottom of the 7th and strike out 3 times with the bases loaded is pretty bad. But you scored 7 runs in that ball game. You shouldn't have gave up more than 7. Without, I mean, the biggest weakness of this team is they're just so inconsistent. That's the biggest issue. Is they're so inconsistent. They can't. They have games where they pitch it lights out, and the defense makes mistakes, like this past weekend against Tennessee. And then you have games like last night where you don't pitch well and you put a lot of guys on base, and the defensive mistakes still linger. And that's one of the biggest issues, is that you're not that good defensively, but you just can't put it all together. And you're just inconsistent. And the thing is, this weekend it could change 1,000. Like, you could go to Oxford, win 2 out of 3, and be like, you know what, there we go.
Yeah.
But losing last night's unacceptable because you don't have the stock to lose those games anymore.
Because you're getting you're still before the halfway point in SEC play. You're getting to a point now, I think, hosting a super, being a top 8 seed, I think is pretty much
gone
out of the question now. Yep. Unless you go on a crazy run, which isn't going to happen. I think you're getting pretty close to that same thing with hosting a regional, right? Being a top 16. Like, you can't lose these RPI games. And look, I mean, 5 of the last 6 SEC series you have are against RPI top 20 teams. So you'll be able to make up some ground if you are able to win a bunch of those series. But, like, to get in the top 16, you're in the 70s in RPI right now.
Right.
That's not going to change. Like, you've got 5 quad 4 losses or quad 5 losses, which is horrible.
Well, and to say, Dardar and Staney get checked out today or whenever, and it comes back that they're hurt worse than it seemed last night.
Yeah.
Both said they weren't 100%. That's why Staney. That's like, are you 100% right now? He's like,
Nope.
I'm not messing with your health.
All right, Harden,
Like,
go
yeah,
take care of
like,
business.
No, he's like, be honest with me. No.
Right.
All right. You're not playing.
I mean, Dardar's like, I was surprised he tried to back out there to play defense the top half of the next inning.
Not taking the dream from him.
No, of course not. But like, it could come back that they're hurt worse than it seemed last night, and that's detrimental to your team because when you've turned the corner and started to play better, I'm not going to put it all on two guys, but I mean, it was Staney getting back in the lineup and being steady the way he has been for the last 2 years, and Dardar started to swing it better.
Yeah.
I mean, like, those were two key pieces of. There was a lot more important. I mean,
No,
Curiel
it's
is swinging a hot bat right now. Aaron Beatty as well. Like, they're both in good spots offensively, but
it just steadied the lineup for you.
And like I said, we could talk about this a whole lot different. Next Monday, the conversation
Absolutely.
could be who knows what. But at the same time, what happened last night just can't happen. You cannot have a seventh inning the way you did where you bring in a guy, he hits a batter. You take him out, you bring in the next guy, they hit a batter. Like, that is unacceptable. And then you work full counts back-to-back times and you walk both guys. And then offensively, you turn the page, you get three, you get the bases loaded with no outs, and you strike out thrice.
I wish I understood this more.
What is it?
Oh, so many numbers for RPI.
Yeah, I don't understand it at all. But what I do know is that you're running out of the, like, there are times where you can go, like last year, it's okay. Dropping that Northwestern State game, that's all right. It's ugly. You got run ruled. It should never happen, but guess what? You're all right. You don't have that this year because you've dropped 2 games to Sacramento State. You dropped a McNeese game. You dropped a Northeastern game. And now a Bethune-Cookman. Like, you don't have the ability to lose those games. And you're putting even more emphasis on now you have to win series in conference. Like, you can't just win 1 out of 3 a lot of these weekends anymore. You need to win SEC series to make sure you make up for 5 quad 4 losses. Ugh. Disgusting.
What? Oh, there's ELO. What is that?
ELO? That's like a different metric. I'm pretty
You're
sure.
gonna make your brain explode,
That's
Lloyd.
for chess.
For chess.
For chess.
Like checkmate?
Yeah, I know what he's talking about. That is a thing in chess. That's like your ranking in chess. You'll have like an ELO.
Interesting. But it'll be a big weekend. There's more pressure on LSU versus Ole Miss.
Okay, that's easy. ELO is a number that may change depending on the outcome of rated games played. After every game, the winning player takes points from the losing one. See, that just tell it to me like I'm 5.
There you go.
I go to your lemonade stand. I take all of your lemonade in a ranked game. You got none of my lemonade. I have 10 lemonades. You have 0. My ELO is 10. Yours is none.
There you go. That makes sense.
Winning the lemonade battle.
How important is this weekend now?
How much lemonade do they have?
I would think a lot. They're a top 10 RPI team, right? So I would assume Ole Miss has a good bit of lemonade.
Let's see how much lemonade they have as of. Who are we playing? We were playing
Ole Miss.
I know that.
The funny thing is, Ole Miss is like 22-12.
Right.
We are also 22-12. They're 5-7 in SEC play. We're 6-6 in SEC play, and they're 70 spots ahead of us in the RPI.
I would assume the midweek games they've lost must be to better.
Well, and they have
RPI teams.
One of the teams they played in the non-conference before SEC play was Missouri State. They swept Missouri State, who's 11 in RPI.
Wow.
They're not the 11th best team in the country.
They played Southern Miss.
Right, that was
really
one of
good.
their midweek losses, which you're not going to get docked too much for that.
That's basically an SEC team.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite of college football, where you should, maybe not should, but if you schedule a really tough schedule, you're not going to get docked that many points for losing.
Right.
You know?
You got some lemonade over there?
I'm still trying to figure it out because now there's volatility in the ELO.
So the lemonade
ELO ranking.
The lemonade could have some poison in it.
Here we go.
Here we go.
LSU. Oh, you can get 4 lemonades.
4 lemonades from Ole Miss.
Yeah, they are. Oh, our ELO's higher. We could lose 4 lemonades.
Oh no. Well, that's not good.
No, we
What
don't.
about RPI? Where does Ole Miss rank RPI wise? They're top 10. So they're number 10. LSU is
67.
We can get a whole lot
Are
of
you
lemonade.
serious?
Yeah.
Oh, Christian's going to
Well, this is, I think this is before last night.
Okay. Oh, nice. nice.
Yeah, so that sucks.
Yeah, so this weekend, like that's what I'm saying. Like these midweek losses are making the weekend so much more important.
They're 13. I hate doing this on the air because this is not my strength.
And LSU 67.
Reading?
Math stuff.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, I just wanted just the ranking wise of like their top 10, LSU's number 67. So let's go. You got to go out.
We got more lemonade.
You got to go out to Oxford and handle business.
Yeah.
Like it just makes it that much more important for these these weeks to like you have to win series.
Predict winners. Okay.
We need to get him out of that.
What a mind.
He's going down a rabbit hole over there.
Yeah.
I don't like doing this on air, but let me do more of it.
Oh, gamble?
Yeah. Well, if they're going to throw out prediction models, where's LSU?
Predict some winners over there, Lloyd. Put the camera on you so they can watch you work hard.
No, it makes Chance upset. What's his name?
What?
Chase.
It makes Chase upset. That's so funny.
I will say, Derek Curiel is playing some really good baseball right now.
He is.
Like, there are some. Obviously, last night sucked. There are some parts of the thing that's not going that well.
Oh, God.
Lloyd said it after the Kentucky series that Curiel is about to get hot, and he has been on a roll.
He was under 300 at one point.
Yeah, I think before Kentucky.
Yeah, and we were all kind of like, "Oh, what's up with him?" Now he's at the 370.
He's about to get to 400.
Jeez.
LSU won 7-2 on Friday. Went 6-4 Saturday.
Okay.
Nice. That's big.
They better score
house money on Sunday.
15 plus on Monday.
Sunday lose 5-4. Not a lot of runs scored.
Okay,
but 2 out of 3.
I would take that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I mean that's the nice
Ole Miss
predictor over there.
They have a really good staff.
They do. They pitch it well.
They pitch it very well. So that's going to be interesting to see.
They do. It'll be an interesting weekend, and like I said, emotions are going to be high. So,
and me and Christian will be out there with our Change My Mind booth.
Yeah, post you up.
Apparently,
definitely for football.
Yeah, that
September, whatever. Well, let's go 13 for 13. Let's close this thing out.
Let's close this thing out. I got to get to the gym.
Yeah, you went at 5 p.m. yesterday.
I know.
Still good though. That F45 workout hits regardless.
I know. I can't do that today because of Michael. He's in Destin.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Destin's fun.
Yeah, he said he's going to zoom in. What, half cocked? Like, you think you're going to go to the beach and not drink? And like, oh, I'm going to go do mic'd up. Just do it from the beach, or don't do it. Just let me know. But I would be excited to.
That would be. That would be exciting.
He should drink more on the show. I think he's better. Because then I get to, and I'm definitely better.
You think?
Yeah.
Let's see. Squat.
Catcher. All things I'm going to do at F45.
A crunch. Okay, high jump, long jump, triple jump, broad jump.
Wow.
A sit-up, a crunch, a squat, and a plank.
Body weight.
Calisthenics.
Oh, it's Strahan, Dent, Peppers, Youngblood.
There you go. Yep.
Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent is Two-Face.
Yeah, just got cast for the new Batman, Sebastian Stan.
Wow. Okay. I like Sebastian Stan.
I like him too. It looks like a good casting. You don't know the difference between L and La? My scratchy voice really
that made it even better.
Sebastian, what is he in?
He's the guy with the big metal arm in Avengers.
The Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
He also played Donald Trump in
a
movie.
The Apprentice.
Jeremy Strong was in that too.
Who's Jeremy Strong?
That's Kendall Roy.
I knew that name sounded familiar. What is he?
I'm the eldest son.
I'm the biggest boy.
I freaking love that show.
I know.
It's one of the best ever. I was so upset when it was over.
He wanted to be a different character. I think he was going to be Romulus.
No, he hadn't. I mean,
That's what they said. And
they casted that show perfectly.
Yeah, but he got passed up.
You a sicko, son? Me and my dad watched the clip of when, why can't I think of the dad's name now?
Logan?
What's the dad's name? Logan. Gets the text from Romulus that he meant to send to Jerry. And when the camera pans to Roman, he's like completely like in the chair, like.
Because he's looking at Jerry across, and he's like.
Well, no, he realizes he's texting his dad.
But no, because he sends it, and he's looking at Jerry, and her phone never goes off, that he hears it over there, and he goes.
And he's like, he just shrinks into the chair. He's like.
Could you imagine? I mean, it wouldn't be a big deal if it was your dad. Or my dad. But if it was Logan Roy, you sicko, son.
What are you, a sicko?
Oh, she sent me that.
And when he's watching the rocket ship blow up on his phone, and he's like, he goes, he just puts it down.
Nope, not today.
Such a good show. Everybody watch Succession.
Right now. Speaking of.
Oh, here we go, Fonz. Y'all need to stop worrying about postseason. We ain't going to make it. Just prepare yourself for a wasted year of top talent that we have, and if they prove me wrong, good, but I'm already in the mindset of them not making it.
Put $1 for every win.
Loser mentality.
Fonz. Super chat $1.
Yeah, super chat $1 for
full match.
I know who the woman is from movies, but I don't know her name. Glenn Close and Jeff Bridges. Shout out. Good job, Johnny L. Thank you.
Glenn Close. It's 2 men?
No. She's a woman, I guess.
How much of a fucking idiot do you have to be to have a daughter and be like
Glenn?
Big fan of Big Baby.
Glenn?
That's crazy. Like
or Glenwelda? What is it?
Like I've made the decision that I love Big Baby Davis so much. I'm naming my first child Glenn. Don't care if it's a girl,
regardless of the gender.
It's like Christian going to name his daughter or son Christian Jr.
Yeah, he told me that yesterday, and I was like, that honestly makes so much sense.
It is pretty fitting.
That's so narcissistic.
Was a mascot for this NFC team until 2015 when the franchise couldn't come to an agreement.
Vikings, yeah. Big
Ragnarok. Thor.
Which is crazy that he thought he had a leg to stand on to negotiate. Like, you don't think there's other big burly men that want to ride a motorcycle into the Viking Stadium?
I'll do it for free.
Right. There's one person that said, I'll do it for free.
Yep.
And it used to be him.
Yeah. Received a single first place MVP vote in 2021 for a season we played both the Pistons and the Knicks.
What?
Pistons and the Knicks.
Jamal Crawford.
21. No. I don't want to look at the chat because I'm going to try to. I'm going to remember this. 2021 was when the Suns and the Bucks played in the finals.
Yeah.
Played for the Pistons and the Knicks. It could be like Tim Hardaway Jr.
It's a guard.
Could be Alec Burks.
But an MVP vote?
Derrick Rose. That's the only one that would make sense.
It's got to
to
be
get
Derrick Rose
because he did play for the Pistons and the Knicks this year.
Yeah, that did happen.
And he was good.
Yeah, I mean, he came third in Sixth Man of the Year.
Well, no, I'm saying it wasn't.
I think it's D Rose.
The one person.
Yep, Johnny L. Derrick Rose.
The one person that would still get an
MVP vote. It had to be somebody that moved the scale, tipped the scale. Fish scale. I have no idea.
Fish scales? Sabres. Is that in Nashville? Oh, that's the Predators.
I have no idea this answer. Just wait for Johnny L to say it.
Who watches hockey anyway?
I do. Every night before I go to bed.
Hockey sucks.
The Flyers.
The Philadelphia Flyers.
I'll take a flyer on that.
You know we haven't done in a while?
Perry Pickle?
Oracle?
Yeah, a yackle.
A yackle.
What's a yackle?
Yeah, we have never done it with Wyatt here, which is crazy. A yackle.
What is a yackle?
I know you need to go to the gym, but I just popped in my head.
Good
the most populated U.S. city in the Central Time Zone, Chicago?
That's what I was thinking. I don't think it could be anything.
Oh, I didn't think about Chicago. I was thinking Houston.
Chicago. Chicago is the only one that I can think of because every time I'm clicking the central time zone when I need to find it, it says Chicago. So it's got to be
Chicago.
It's like 8 million people.
16.
16. Holy shit.
6, 7.
Oh,
Fanta?
Fanta.
Sunkiss?
Think Fanta.
I would assume it's Fanta. If they're able to pull Dr. Pepper, you can pull Fanta.
It could be like Crush though, or like
I think it might.
Sunkiss.
There's
a couple. There's a lot of
Fanta.
There's a lot of different orange
Crush is a good
flavored
one.
things.
There are. That's true.
For some, I mean, I'm not.
I feel like Orange Crush.
I do. Crush makes more sense to me. I don't think I've. I feel like I've seen a sun-kissed Jello.
No, it's not Sunkiss. It's either Fanta or Orange or Crush.
Or Crush.
I feel like it would be Fanta.
But it does say orange flavor variety of this soda brand.
Yeah, but there's different.
It's Crush. I feel like I've seen it.
Okay, well, then do it.
Okay.
Crush it.
There are different Fantas though. Like Fanta comes in more than.
Well, I know
just
that.
orange.
That's why. But Fanta's like. I don't know. It's just it is
Oh, it was
an orange
Crush.
soda. It was Crush.
Jello. This is good.
Jello.
That I've spent some time in the Jello aisle.
I don't do.
Get the
I don't
zero
do-
sugar?
I don't do Jello.
Why, you don't like the texture?
No, I got a
Too much hospital?
I got a colonoscopy when I was 15 because I was having stomach issues, and
Just slides
obviously,
right
if anyone's
in.
ever had a colonoscopy, you have to take the medicine that
Clears you out.
like, and all you can eat is like chicken broth or Jello.
Did you just and it just kind
I
of
just had a bunch of Jello, and it's associated with that experience. and
Getting
so
reamed.
I've never had it again.
Yeah,
It was one of the. It was.
that's fair. I think that's a pretty fair
I
argument.
mean, you couldn't make a more damning argument.
Yeah,
It's
honestly.
this is
Because
why-
I do like Jello, but I just
liked.
now
Yeah.
it just I associate it with that, and I'm like,
yeah.
You know the difference between jelly and jam and a colostomy?
Oh my gosh.
colostomy.
Oh,
Dude, that's
whatever.
A colostomy bag, a colonoscopy. It's where they
Erectonomy?
camera you, put you to night. They put
Yeah,
you
Tucker
night-night.
just got that.
No, he didn't get a colonoscopy.
He was relaxed.
Tucker likes Jello.
Yeah.
Tucker loves
Likes
Jell-O.
jam.
He likes jam.
Did you just spray on the did you ever leave the restroom?
Yeah, but
You never tried. There was
When
no
you have to,
there was
you're-
no like sneaking one past the goalie in this. I would imagine like, oh, I'm definitely getting up again.
back in there,
Yep.
door stays open. Like I'm just. But the worst part of the whole experience was that I went to school the day before, the day I couldn't eat, and I had to sit at lunch and and drink a water bottle while everyone else was eating food. And if you know me, you know I want to enjoy.
Oh,
food.
I get that.
And so like I had to sit there drinking a water.
Did you
And like
take
I
any,
even I even scheduled a makeup test that day during lunch because I was like, you know what? I don't want to go to the cafeteria,
yeah,
so I'm
don't
going to
even
take this
tempt
test.
me.
I finished the test in 5 minutes
Yeah.
because that's my problem. Is I was a fast tester. Like I wanted to finish the test as fast as possible.
And eat as fast as you could.
Yes.
I've seen this show. I watched the whole thing.
Did they put you under for that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Great nap.
I
slept 45 minutes over. Like they were
Really?
like he needs to wake up, and they couldn't wake me up. I was
That's
just
awesome.
sleeping. They're like he's alive.
Yeah, he's
just
good.
enjoying
He's
the nap.
Still stressed
But
out.
then you can't leave until you fart.
Yeah.
Because they air you up.
Yeah.
Like a baby.
They air you up so the camera can move through, and they're like, you can't leave until that leaves.
And
Gnarly.
were people in there?
Oh yeah.
Was there pressure?
What do you mean pressure? Like
I can't do it in here.
no. I mean that's not how.
Oh, I thought you meant like air pressure. You meant like
yeah, there was air pressure.
Yeah.
Did you like?
No,
put-
I mean there's like, you're not like in a room. Like you go back into like it's just curtained. Like you're just set off by curtains, so you can hear everything going on in the rooms next to you. It was just me and my dad in there. Like there was no other people, but like I could hear the guy next to me, definitely an older gentleman,
farting,
and I heard whenever his happened.
It motivated
It was
you?
like, oh,
I can go home.
and he just, I mean, like he let it rip, and I was like,
I
oh,
want
this
that.
is about to be crazy.
That's awesome.
And it was.
Did your dad film it?
No, he didn't, but
Should have.
dapped me up after he was like sick.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
awesome.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
McDonald's.
Oh, went to Waffle House after.
Yeah.
Because I had
Yeah.
crushed, dude. That
Yeah.
never wanted food so bad in my life.
That's
crushed
awesome.
Waffle House after. This answer is Shogun.
Shogun. I watched the whole thing and read the book.
Okay.
I always.
There's a Shogun restaurant.
Yeah, in New Orleans, in Metairie.
They have one
That's-
in Shreveport too.
They have a Shogun in Shreveport.
Yeah.
Do you understand? That's like my favorite restaurant of all. I've
hibachi?
been to Shogun for my birthday every year since I was
Really?
like 3
Do they
years
do
old.
the little stick celebration for your birthday? Like they play the.
No, they don't do that.
Oh, the dude. It's probably the first video in my phone.
Really?
Because I had gotten a phone for that birthday,
Beethoven.
and I have the Shogun birthday celebration. See if I can find it.
Shogun's
yeah, here it
the
is.
best.
Look, this is at Shogun.
Hell yeah.
You didn't get that for your own birthday?
I didn't get it, no. It might be different because the Shogun I know is like blue and white, not black and red.
I think where's the blue and white? Oh, you probably got instant training.
Beethoven.
I don't know. Well, no, I don't know.
Beethoven.
Roof. What you doing? What you doing? Where you at? Where you at?
Oh, you got plans? You got plans. Don't say that.
Shut your trap.
Oh, I know this song.
I do know the song too. I just.
Oh, you got
hate it.
plans. You got plans.
It's Bruno Mars.
Oh, don't say that.
Where you go?
Leave the door open.
Is that
Bruno
what it
Mars
is?
and Anderson .Paak. I'ma leave the door open.
There you go.
I'ma leave the door open.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. That's a freaking great song. I'm gonna listen to that in the car.
That's a good song.
I do like some Anderson .Paak.
It was him and Bruno Mars. It was good. I think Bruno Mars is performing in New Orleans coming up.
Is he actually?
Yeah.
I love Bruno Mars.
Me too.
I would
I
do some
didn't
Bruno
realize that
Mars.
until like a couple of Bruno
Very
Mars
talented.
songs came
Yeah,
on. I was
yeah.
like, I know a lot of his
lot.
songs.
How old is
Baby,
he?
I would catch a grenade for ya.
He is born-
The
he
Lazy
is- how
song
old-
back
Yeah.
in the day.
How old do you think he is?
Bruno Mars,
40 something?
34.
40 on the nose.
Really?
Wow.
He doesn't look it.
No, he looks pretty young.
See, I'm gonna go through his top songs on Spotify and see if you.
I know.
Die with a Smile is the one he did with
Lady Gaga.
Good.
Yeah.
Locked Out of Heaven, That's What I Like.
Banger.
Just the Way You Are. When I Was Your
Banger.
Man. It Will
Banger.
Rain. Talking to the
Banger.
Moon. Like
Banger.
I know like a lot of songs. I was like, it actually wouldn't be a bad concert to go to.
No, it would be very nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
Like Lighters.
Uh-huh.
With it was
Eminem.
like it was the Eminem album they did together. It's a great song.
That was,
I would know a lot of Bruno Mars.
Let's see. Let me look at the Bruno Mars concert. I wonder if tickets are like expensive to that.
He's
Because he is
net
very
worth
popular.
is $200 million.
It's not. There's no way it's the Superdome. I assume it's the Blender.
Is it New Orleans? Is there not one in New Orleans? I could have swore somebody told me he was performing in New Orleans. Yeah, New Orleans, September 16th. $176.
3 days before.
9/11.
No.
It's gonna be
3 days before.
Ole Miss is 9/11.
Ole Miss, yeah.
Oh wow.
Ole Miss
Dangerous.
and Oxford.
Dangerous weekend.
Speaking of a dangerous weekend,
They might
this
have a
weekend,
grenade for you.
this Saturday night, going to Titan Combat Presents. We're going to go check out some MMA at the LaBerge Event Center Saturday night. Get there. The tickets, the link is on our social media. We posted it on our Twitter. Go check it out so you can get some tickets to go check out some MMA fights in Baton Rouge. 5 professional fights, 13 amateur fights, MMA, kickboxing, grappling. It's top tier stuff. We'll see you guys there. You better be there. Saturday night, doors open at 6. Fight 7:15. We will be there. MMA in Baton Rouge at LaBerge. Go get your tickets. We'll see you there. Just look up Titan Combat Championship, and it'll probably pop up where you can find your tickets. The link is also on our social media. Go check it out this Saturday night. Doors open at 6. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 to 10.
Go Tigers.
I'm gonna
Go
get
Tigers.
I'm gonna get some.